Chapter 1805, Who Dares to Kill My Son? Chapter 1805, Who Dares to Kill My Son? Martial Sister Bingyu. Yimo dashed to Zhen Bingyu and smiled. Zhen Bingyu wasn't fast but wasn't slow. You're back. Zhen Bingyu's tone was shaky. When Yimo was about to go, she was reluctant but definitely not as strong as now. Now that she faced Yimo, she had this extremely intense feeling. She didn't want to let Yimo leave alone. Before, when she didn't care about her body, she didn't mind Yimo looking at her, but now, she didn't have the courage to charge into Yimo's arms and say, "I've missed you." She really wanted to do this. She definitely wouldn't have the courage to stand naked in front of him again. Sometimes, she suspected her Dao heart had regressed. Sometimes she felt her Dao heart was affected by Yimo's Dao heart. Who is she? Yimo saw the green-robed middle-aged woman who chased over. He thought it was Zhen Bingyu's friend in the city. Yimo felt strange. In his impression, Zhen Bingyu's character was cold and didn't like making friends. Why does she have friends now? Zhen Bingyu said plainly, a woman who wants to capture me to her young city lord for pleasure. What? Yimo's eyes went cold and the nearby space instantly froze. A mere great eternity immortal tertiary stage dared to be this cocky. The green-robed woman saw Yimo and Zhen Bingyu talk, and then Yimo's force suddenly went cold. She immediately shivered and turned to run. Yimo didn't chase her and just looked at her. When were you marked by spirit sense? Zhen Bingyu's body shook and she shook her head. I don't know. If it's spirit sense mark, then it's probably by that auntie he. She had invited me to her place more than once, but I've rejected every time. Yimo didn't remove it and said to Zhen Bingyu, I can't expose my identity yet. I'll take you away as an anonymous passerby, immortal king. I know. Zhen Bingyu knew that there was a huge secret for Yimo to be able to progress this quickly. If this was spilled, it wouldn't be good. Then let's go. Yimo grabbed Zhen Bingyu and took a few steps and arrived at the door of the Qingmo city. Yimo didn't feel any mental barrier for holding Zhen Bingyu as he carried her for very long before. He just felt her body seemed a little warmer and maybe softer. But Zhen Bingyu felt her body go soft and her body temperature rising. She knew her mindset had changed too much. Other than cultivation and searching for resources, she had been thinking about Yimo and her master. Luckily Yimo gave her lots of pills and her immortal spirit herb garden, so she didn't need to leave the city for cultivation resources. Otherwise, she would have long fell into someone else's hands. If Yimo still didn't come back, she would have to ask Su Huan, immortal king, to send her away or join a big sect. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to survive. Yimo sensed Zhen Bingyu's worry and felt a little apologetic. If it was Luo Ying or Ning Qingxue, he would definitely not leave them at a random place even if he was to get stronger. In these years, Su Huan, immortal king Qian Bei, and Ping Ju, immortal king Qian Bei, have helped me greatly. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even be able to rent my cultivation home. Zhen Bingyu said. Yimo breathed easy. Helping others was helping yourself indeed. He helped the three immortal kings and now they helped him and took care of Zhen Bingyu. Zong Pro Heaven Ping Ju, thank immortal king friend for helping. Yimo put Zhen Bingyu down and Ping Ju, immortal king, came out of the city and saluted with his fists. Ping Ju, immortal king, you're too polite. I was just passing by and just helped. Plus demonic immortal spirit beasts are ravaging the city. Anyone can kill them. Yimo laughed. Ping Ju, immortal king, didn't mind Yimo's tone. Yimo had the right to talk like that. Even an immortal monarch might not be able to do better than Yimo, much less Yimo, who was just an immortal king primary stage. Immortal monarch would at most make the demonic immortal spirit beast retreat, but it's impossible to slaughter them all unless he had special immortal arts. I haven't asked for your title yet. If immortal friend don't mind, please come have a seat in the city lord estate. Ping Ju, immortal king, was very polite. He knew that he would be instant killed by Yimo if he wanted to. Yimo waved his hand. No need to go to city lord estate. I have business, so I need to leave immediately. Seeing Zhen Bingyu next to Yimo, Ping Ju, immortal king, quickly said, Bingyu, go help clean up the battlefield. I'll send this immortal king friend who helped the city a great deal. Yimo didn't say his name and his tone was prideful. Ping Ju, immortal king, knew that such person would definitely have a strange temper, so he gave up on inviting Yimo. Hearing this, Yimo had a good impression of Ping Ju. Although he intentionally acted prideful, he respected Ping Ju, immortal king, a lot. What he said was clearly to protect Zhen Bingyu. Before Zhen Bingyu spoke, Yimo waved his hand. I like this girl, she can stay with me. Pingju Immortal King quickly said, this is my old friend's friend. Hearing this, Yimo respected Pingju Immortal King even more. Zhen Bingyu quickly said, Immortal King Master, WN Bei is willing to go with this Qian Bei. Pingju Immortal King dazed, and before he could speak, someone on the side, Immortal King Master, WN Bei Luo Chenming. I came to Qingmo City to pick up Bingyu Goddess. My father is Fei Ling Immortal City Lord, Yihe Immortal King Luo Q. My father had decided to take Zhen Bingyu as a disciple and marry her to me. Luo Chenming knew Yimo was strong. He saw Yimo slaughter hundreds of millions of demonic immortal spirit beast, but he knew such mass-scale immortal art wasn't useful for one-on-one battle. His father was Immortal King Tertiary Stage. Bullshit, I've never seen some Luo Q, nor did I agree to go to Fei Ling Immortal City. What right do you have to take me away? Zhen Bingyu yelled furiously. Seeing Luo Chenming was going to keep talking, Yimo's eyes went cold and said coldly, is that so? How dare you? Yimo's powerful Immortal King force rose. Even Pingju Immortal King felt shaky, much less Luo Chenming, who took the full force of it. Pingju Immortal King saw Yimo's killing intent and quickly said, Yihe Immortal King is Immortal King Tertiary Stage. He's one step away from Immortal King Peak Stage and is the head of the 10 great Immortal Kings of Zone Pro Heaven. Yimo knew what Pingju Immortal King meant, but how could he be scared of an Immortal King Tertiary Stage? His killing intent soared. No, how could Luo Sihanming take on Yimo's terrifying killing intent? He said shakily, I came to Qingmo City and saw Bingyu, then you marked her with spirit sense and planned to take her away? Yimo raised his hand and removed a faint light spot from Zhen Bingyu. Pingju Immortal King saw this and immediately realized it was a spirit sense mark. He couldn't help but sigh and felt guilty. Zhen Bingyu was being targeted and he didn't even know. If this Immortal King didn't come, he wouldn't even know Zhen Bingyu went missing until after a long time. Thinking about Mo Ying, who let him go into the Dao Seeking Tower, he felt guilty. Yes, I did it. Luo Chenming couldn't even speak under the Immortal King pressure. That's all I needed. Yimo flung out a faint light. Who dares to kill my son? A furious roar sounded and a ethereal middle-aged man charged out, punched at the light. Yimo didn't mind the fist shadow that was growing larger and larger, but the faint light he threw out gradually expanded and grew hotter. The fist shadow was instantly enveloped by the light. Yimo didn't mind the fist shadow that was growing larger and larger, but the faint light he threw out gradually expanded and grew hotter. The fist shadow was instantly enveloped by the light. Rumble, in a huge explosion, the fist cracked apart while a ring of white light expanded out. Moments later, the white light formed a formation. Although Yimo could easily kill Luo Chenming, he stopped instead. He knew this light formation was a temporary teleportation formation. This meant that the person protecting Luo Chenming had come. If it was some immortal emperor image, he might be concerned, but now this was a mere immortal king image. Even if an immortal king came, he could kill Luo Sihanming whenever he wanted. When the white light dispersed, a middle-aged man appeared before everyone. This person wore a purple-grey immortal robe. His eyes were like Luo Chenming, a bit bleak, but he was much more handsome than Luo Chenming. With him appearing, the man's force expanded like crazy. The force of an Immortal King Tertiary Stage made all the great Eternity Immortals retreat, but when this force reached Yimo, it was dissipated by Yimo's Immortal King domain. Zhen Bingyu didn't even feel it at all. Yihe Immortal King, Pingju Immortal King quickly saluted with his fists. Looking at this guy, Yimo knew this guy probably wasn't going to talk nicely. Luo Hua sneered, Pei Yi, Pingju Immortal King Master, if I came a little later, my son would probably be killed by you and this outsider, right? Pingju Immortal King's face changed. He was an Immortal King too, although Yihe's power was higher than his, but this sardonic tone made him feel extremely uncomfortable. He sneered inside. Although Yihe was Immortal King Tertiary Stage, but it wasn't easy for him to beat this Immortal King Primary Stage. Brother Luo, I never said anything nor did I want to attack Chenming. If Brother Luo must count the responsibility on me, I don't care. Pingju said. Luo Hua never even glanced at Yi Mo since arriving here. Hearing this, his eyes went cold. He glared coldly at Ping Ju Immortal King as a killing intent flashed across his eyes. However, he didn't keep looking for trouble and instead turned to the two men and woman behind Luo Chenming and yelled, "What are you guys doing? How dare you let the young city lord be abused here?" The three didn't even dare to speak. Yi Mo shook his head. Such person could only be cocky in the middle heaven domain. If he went to the grand heaven domain, he would be quickly annihilated. Ji Shu and Qi Baitsang were young city lords too, but how did their dads educate them? They weren't spoiled at all. Ji Shu even went to find his own resources and his dad didn't ask. "Father, I predetermined this woman, but this guy came and robbed her away just because he was stronger. If father didn't intervene in time, I might have died already." Luo Chenming pointed at Zhen Bingyu. Luo Hua looked at Zhen Bingyu and his eyes lit up. This woman was pretty indeed, but thinking about how she almost got his son killed, he grunted, "You almost lost your life for a woman, aren't you stupid?" Yi Mo dazed. He didn't expect Luo Hua to say this. Did he see wrongly of him? You and Ming Yu get the woman and strip her naked and hang her at the city gates," Luo Hua said. Yi Mo's eyes went cold and his killing intent soared. He thought this Luo Hua would at least ask both sides of the story, but he did this instead. He still hasn't attacked because Zhong Piaro Heaven was ravaged by demonic immortal spirit beast and Yi He Immortal King was the #1 immortal king here. But since he was this shameless, then don't blame him. "Father, that woman, I haven't yet," Luo Chenming said desperately. Luo Hua looked unhappily at Luo Chenming and waved out a space magic artifact and said, "Take the woman inside. After my son uses her, pull her out and hang her." Yi Mo was so furious that he didn't do anything instead. He had seen many psychopaths and maniacs but never someone to this degree. Without question, this guy had killed countless people like this. He was at least an immortal king and this guy didn't even say anything to him and was going to let his men attack Zhen Bingyu. Ping Ju Immortal King was sneering but he did nothing. He knew Yi Mo would attack. The two great Eternity Immortal looked worriedly at Yi Mo. City Lord Master hadn't seen Yi Mo's power yet, but they have. With how Yi Mo attacked before, even City Lord might not be a match for him, but they didn't dare to say this. This was asking to die. "City Lord Master," Ming Yu called out hesitantly. Luo Hua saw the two's eyes and knew the two were worried about Yi Mo. He was furious. He was an immortal king tertiary stage standing here, yet these two were worried about an immortal king primary stage. "Just go get her, I'll see who dares to move," Luo Hua said. Then he said in contempt, "A mere immortal king primary stage dares to be this cocky. Were you about to kill my son?" "Wrong," Yi Mo smiled and suddenly waved two lightning out. "How dare you?" Luo Hua extended his immortal king domain out and released an immortal artifact that charged at Yi Mo was a black ray. Crack. Luo Hua felt his immortal king domain was like porcelain smashing into granite. It cracked into pieces. His dark kill flag also slowed down. The next moment, he felt a purple sword rays slicing over. It brought about 1 kilometer long killing intent. How could he not realize now that his immortal king domain was far from a match for Yi Mo's immortal king domain? Not good. Before Luo Hua could move, he heard another crackle. The two reaching for Zhen Bingyu were blasted into nothing by lightning. Luo Hua was shocked. He immediately knew his opponent was stronger than him. He immediately gave up on the thought of fighting Yi Mo. Even if Yi Mo was an immortal king primary stage, he didn't want to fight him. But he had to deal with this purple sword ray first. Rumble crack. Two more lightning flashed. Luo Chenming and the great Unity Immortal next to him couldn't even dodge and were blasted into nothing. Luo Hua couldn't stop this at all. Seeing his son getting killed right before him, Luo Hua felt a murderous feeling surge up and he almost spat a mouthful of blood. In his fury, the flag grew larger and swept around the lethal force in the space and clashed with Zi Shu. The low-level immortals were blasted away and some were even heavily injured. Yi Mo calmly waved his hand and the chaos flow disappeared, but Luo Hua flew back a kilometer before stopping. "Now," Yi Mo said slowly, "now I killed your son." Luo Hua couldn't hold it in and spat a mouthful of blood. At the same time, his figure burst out and became twice as large as before. His flag flew up and swept the lethal force of a few 100-kilometer radius. His killing intent kept soaring. Ping Ju Immortal King sighed. He didn't know why, but he could tell Yi Mo was going to give Luo Hua some face before, but Luo Hua was so arrogant. Now, his son was killed, and looking at this Immortal King primary stage's force, even Luo Hua was no match for him. Ping Ju Immortal King sighed. He didn't know why, but he could tell Yi Mo was going to give Luo Hua some face before, but Luo Hua was so arrogant. Now, his son was killed, and looking at this Immortal King primary stage's force, even Luo Hua was no match for him. Seeing Luo Hua's rising force, Yi Mo signaled Zhen Bingyu to retreat. He took a step forward and punched out. The punch was called Void. In that instant, the void lethal force brought by the fist wind had covered the lethal force of the flag. It was clear which was stronger. The flag's lethal force was rising before, but after Yi Mo punched out Void, this stopped. In just 1 second, this lethal force was suppressed. Moments later, the hundreds of kilometer radius wasn't the flag's lethal force anymore, it was Void Punch's void lethal force whirlpool. Luo Hua was shocked greatly. Not only was Yi Mo's Immortal King domain far superior than his, but even this immortal essence and god art was far stronger than him. In that instant, Luo Hua calmed down. He had never thought of regret, he acted on his heart his entire life. He was able to be the #1 Immortal King of Zhongpiaro Heaven because of his ruthlessness. Although this ruthlessness has caused him disaster, he didn't realize it. His only thought was to hold on and find an opportunity to run away from Zhongpiaro Heaven. One day he would reach Immortal Monarch, and then he would come back and deal with this little Immortal King. Rumble. The two lethal forces clashed, creating even greater space chaos flow. The land outside Qing Mo Immortal City immediately turned to an ocean. The sturdy rocks were swept up and rolled around like ocean waves. Countless sand and stones flew around, catching the observers in the crossfire again. Ping Ju Immortal King quickly released his defense magic artifact and turned into a 100-kilometer-long wall to stop this. Luo Hua's flag stopped Yi Mo's void again. Although Yi Mo's punch had the definite upper hand, but Luo Hua stopped the momentum of the punch. Luo Hua felt his immortal essence rumble and his Immortal King domain crack open the second time. Before Luo Hua could run, Yi Mo expanded his Immortal King domain and used Wave Kill. Yi Mo didn't want to waste time anymore. Luo Hua was weaker than Hua Jing, and now his cultivation level had completely stabilized. Rumble, Wave Kill was released and the first flame wave splashed out. Ping Ju Immortal King subconsciously shivered. This was his second time seeing Yi Mo use Wave Kill. The first time, it was from a distance, but now he was close by watching. If it was him, he would definitely not be able to stop the third wave. When the first wave came, Luo Hua could only use his immortal essence to control the flag to block this. The space nearby started rustling heavily. He was going to flee. However, Luo Hua found his speed in void transmission was much slower. Usually, he would have used the mobility technique already, but now, he found it difficult to even tear open the nearby space. How could Yi Mo not know what Luo Hua thought? He reached his Immortal King domain out like crazy while smashing out the second and third wave. The difference between Immortal King and Great Eternity Immortal was too great. When Yi Mo used Wave Kill before, there would be a pause, but now Yi Mo could use it whenever he liked, and now he wouldn't use up his immortal essence after just using 2 waves. The flag sizzled, and finally shrunk after blocking the second wave. Before Luo Hua could insert more immortal essence in, the third wave had surrounded him. Luo Hua quickly used all his immortal essence to stop the third wave. He just realized now that ever since the fight begun he was always on the passive side, he couldn't even counter-attack. This meant that Yi Mo was far stronger than him. Before the third wave ended, a purple sword ray followed closely. Despair rose in Luo Hua's heart. It was already hard even for him to block the flame wave under Yi Mo's Immortal King domain, and yet Yi Mo could still release another sword ray god art. Just how big was the difference between them? Splurge. The sword ray brought out a red light and the third wave completely engulfed Luo Hua. Luo Hua's struggling essence spirit heard the opponent is too weak, too hard to learn a new sword god art. His essence spirit didn't even have the time to become angry and was annihilated by the flame wave. A ring was collected by Yi Mo. The battle outside the city started quick and ended quick. The power was shocking to the extreme, and this terrifying scene disappeared in an instant. Ping Ju Immortal King took in a cold breath. The difference was too huge. An Immortal King primary stage almost instant killed an Immortal King tertiary stage. If this Immortal King primary stage reached Immortal King middle stage, wouldn't he be invincible in Immortal King level? Seeing Yi Mo come over, Ping Ju Immortal King quickly removed his defense magic artifact and came up saluted with his fists. Immortal friend has powerful means. Yi Mo saluted with his fists and said nothing. If he spoke too much he might expose himself. Immortal friend, Zone Pro heaven is ravaged by demonic immortal spirit beast, there's emergencies everywhere. Please help us on the account that we're all human race. Ping Ju Immortal King couldn't help asking. Yi Mo didn't reject nor answer. To be honest, he really wanted to help, but he didn't want to stay long here. Seeing Yi Mo hesitate, Ping Ju Immortal King rejoiced and quickly saluted with his fists. Immortal friend, Zone Pro heaven is invaded by demonic immortal spirit beast on a large scale. Countless immortals have died, the entire heaven domain has suffered heavy losses. Although many immortal friends want to help, but the main teleportation formations have been taken over. If they fly over through the void it would take too long. How do you want me to help? Yi Mo asked with slight hesitation. Ping Ju Immortal King quickly said, we're at a disadvantage mainly because there's a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast at Ping Pro Plains. He killed 4 of our immortal kings and so we had to retreat and guard the immortal cities. Yuzhong Immortal City, He Lian Immortal City have been annihilated, even Su Huan Immortal King is trapped in Jiyulan Immortal City. Master, Su Huan Immortal King has helped me greatly in Qing Mo Immortal City. Zhen Bingyu said. Ping Ju Immortal King dazed, he didn't expect Zhen Bingyu to be this brave. She was just taken in and she dared to say such thing. But at the same time, he respected Zhen Bingyu. To be able to say this, it meant that she was a grateful person. Hearing this, Yi Mo nodded immediately. Okay, then let's go see Su Huan. Thank you, immortal friend. Ping Ju Immortal King rejoiced. He didn't expect Zhen Bingyu's words to be actually useful. He quickly handed over the city matters to another Great Eternity Immortal Peak stage and he left with Yi Mo to Jiyulan Immortal City. There was teleportation formation, but it was restricted by the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Luckily Yi Mo had an extreme grade immortal artifact flying chariot. He used this and arrived at the city in less than a day. The demonic immortal spirit beasts outside were also densely clustered, reaching out more than 1,000 kilometers. They were clearly all level 3 and above. Not good, the city has been broken. Ping Ju Immortal King called out. Yi Mo and Zhen Bingyu saw it too. Countless immortals were being attacked by the demonic immortal spirit beasts. Amongst them, a vibrant sword light ravaged the demonic immortal spirit beasts. Each time it moved, countless demonic immortal spirit beast would disappear. However, it was too lonely, it was impossible for it to kill all the demonic immortal spirit beasts. That's Su Huan Immortal King, she's surrounded, Ping Ju Immortal King said worriedly. That's Su Huan Immortal King, she's surrounded, Ping Ju Immortal King said worriedly. Yi Mo nodded and put away the chariot, taking Ping Ju Immortal King and Zhen Bingyu into the demonic immortal spirit beast crowd. 5 golden-rimmed suns rose up and instantly, 100-kilometer radius was filled with blue light. Yi Mo used on extra sun this time, but the area was smaller. Reduction in area meant a definite increase in damage. Zhen Bingyu didn't even have the chance to attack and Ping Ju Immortal King could only kill a few demonic immortal spirit beasts under Yi Mo's protection. Because Yi Mo's damage was too powerful, large areas of demonic immortal spirit beasts disappeared under the Heaven Flame 9 suns without resistance. Those few level 7 demonic immortal spirit beast trapping Su Huan Immortal King saw Yi Mo come and immediately gave up on Su Huan. They charged at Yi Mo instead. However, Yi Mo's Immortal King power was more and more consolidated, he was more and more fluent with the Immortal King domain. In a short time, those level 7 demonic immortal spirit beasts were killed. Zhen Bingyu quickly started picking up demonic immortal spirit beast cores on the side. Yi Mo created such a huge commotion here and Su Huan Immortal King immediately knew. She brought people and moved towards Yimo gradually. Yimo said to Pingju Immortal King, "Brother Pingju, protect Bingyu for a bit, I'm going out to kill demonic immortal spirit beasts." "Immortal friend, don't worry. I definitely won't let her get injured at all," Pingju Immortal King said. Yimo charged into the demonic immortal spirit beasts and his heaven flame 9 sons swept past like crazy. As Yimo went, the demonic immortal spirit beasts were like ice upon bright sunlight. They melted quickly and the area quickly cleared up. The demonic immortal spirit beast were either killed or drawn away by Yimo. The other immortals stopped and looked at Yimo in a complete daze. Where did this powerful being come from? He slaughtered demonic immortal spirit beasts like it was as easy as breathing. But soon, they reacted and started hunting down small amounts of demonic immortal spirit beasts. Su Huan Immortal King ate a few pills and came up to Pingju Immortal King tiredly. She asked in uncertainty, "Martial brother Pingju, which powerful being did you invite? Who is he?" Pingju Immortal King laughed. "Su Huan Martial sister, you should ask Bingyu. She knows more than me." Su Huan Immortal King looked at Zhen Bingyu in confusion. "Bingyu, you know this person? What is going on?" Zhen Bingyu quickly bowed. "Qian Bei, I don't know this master. He was interested in me and Wn Bei was willing to serve him. That's why he came here." Pingju Immortal King quickly said, "Martial sister Su Huan, this immortal friend could come here purely because of Zhen Bingyu. Bingyu said she wanted to save you so he came over immediately." Su Huan immediately quickly said to Zhen Bingyu, "Bingyu thanks a lot." Su Huan felt more curious on the inside. She was more meticulous and knew Zhen Bingyu very well. She wasn't the type to see someone new and move on. When Mo Ying brought her to Qing Mo Immortal City, she was focused on cultivation and never showed any expression to others. Why was she so devoted to this immortal king? She didn't feel Zhen Bingyu was forced, otherwise she wouldn't be acting like this. "Su Huan Qian Bei, I relied on you two Qian Beis taking care of me in Qingmo City, I should do what I can to help." Zhen Bingyu quickly bowed. The three stopped talking. Yimo had killed more than half of the demonic immortal spirit beast outside the city. The rest were running like crazy. Yimo was faster and in the blink of an eye, less and less demonic immortal spirit beast were running. After Yimo slaughtered a huge amount of demonic immortal spirit beasts, he came to the three. Before Yimo said anything, Su Huan Immortal King bowed. "Su Huan thanks Immortal Friend for helping." Yimo smiled. "It's no big deal, this thing is over, if there's nothing else I'm going." Hearing this, Pingju Immortal King and Su Huan Immortal King were desperate. Zhong Piaro Heaven needed a powerful being like Yimo to help. If Yimo left and the demonic immortal spirit beasts came back, Zhong Piaro Heaven would still fall. Pingju Immortal King wanted Zhen Bingyu to say something but she said nothing. She wasn't willing to let Yimo go Ping Piaro Plain to kill demonic immortal spirit beasts. Yimo was only Immortal King primary stage and there was a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast there. Helplessly, Pingju Immortal King could only saluted with his fists. "Immortal friend, I'm really ashamed to say this. There's a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast at Ping Piaro Plain. If Immortal Friend leaves we have to leave Zhong Piaro Heaven. Otherwise, when the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast attacks, he would annihilate the entire Zhong Piaro Heaven." Yimo knew what Pingju meant. He thought for a long while that level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast was countered by his cultivation method and under lightning sand and wave kill, it would at most be level 7 tertiary stage. He should be able to kill it. "Su Huan and I can help on the side. We'll use this opportunity to gather the entire power of Zhong Piaro Heaven and wipe out their base," Pingju Immortal King said. Su Huan didn't know how Yimo instantly killed Yi He Immortal King and thus was a little shocked at Pingju's request. Yimo soon agreed. If Zhong Piaro Heaven was taken over for a long time, other heaven domains might not be too well too. Soon, all the immortal cities of Zhong Piaro Heaven knew there was a powerful being to help. 3 days later, from Immortal King to Golden Immortal were almost all gathered. They all came to Ping Piaro Plain. There were another 2 immortal kings. They didn't know Yimo, but seeing how Pingju and Su Huan were so polite to Yimo, they were polite too. Yimo didn't see Kai Feng Immortal King, so he couldn't really ask. Under Yimo's leadership, Zhong Pro Heaven started a demonic immortal spirit beast massacre. Some people were nervous about this, but after seeing Yimo's attacks, they were greatly assured. When they saw that a level 7 demonic immortal spirit beast couldn't even last one round with Yimo, their morale was greatly boosted. This time, there were a few million immortals charging into the Ping Pro plains. More immortals were coming incessantly, soon it was about to be 10 million immortals. Because Yimo easily killed some level 6 and level 7 demonic immortal spirit beasts, the rest of the low-level demonic immortal spirit beasts were slaughtered without resistance. In a short day, a little less than half of the demonic immortal spirit beasts here were annihilated, and this was Yimo not attacking with full power. If he did, more than half would be dead. Yimo saved his power for that level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. With a sharp screech, the immortals immediately felt a powerful space pressure. Some weak heaven immortals even spat blood and fell unconscious. This is the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast, everyone retreat, Ping Ju Immortal King yelled. Before he finished, Yimo's force also rose. Although Yimo's force couldn't compare with the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast's force, it mitigated more than half of it. Yimo's face was serious, he was certain that if he didn't attack, he was no match for this level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Yimo said to Su Huan, "Su Huan immortal friend, I'll leave Bingyu to you for now." Su Huan wanted to help, but hearing this she could only nod. "Immortal friend, don't worry, Bingyu is my friend. I won't let her get hurt." Ping Ju Immortal King immediately said, "I'll go as well." Ping Ju Immortal King said, "I'll come too." Another Immortal King middle stage next to Ping Ju also released a hexagon mace and said, "I'll go help too." Yimo nodded and released Zishu charging up. In the blink of an eye, 100-meter tall huge demonic immortal spirit beast appeared before Yimo. This was the first time he saw one this big. Its face was clear, two lamp-sized eyes were filled with cold and murderous intent. Ping Ju Immortal King and another Immortal King felt extremely uncomfortable with this Kai even though they were behind Yimo. They respected Yimo who took the full force of it. They were all Immortal Kings but they were far from Yimo. Ping Ju Immortal King and another Immortal King felt extremely uncomfortable with this Kai even though they were behind Yimo. They respected Yimo who took the full force of it. They were all Immortal Kings but they were far from Yimo. Yimo used a wave kill the instant he got near this level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Yimo saw now that the demonic immortal spirit beast just reached level 8 for no more than 10 years. He couldn't completely control his Kai and was in a state of extreme volatility. One could imagine that once the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast consolidated his Kai, he would seem not much of a threat, but he would truly be a threat. Yimo rejoiced. Luckily it was a newly ascended level 8 immortal spirit beast. If it was a mature level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast, he wouldn't need to try to know that he was no match. Even for now, it would be a bit hard, but he had no choice now. It was unknown if a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast would be countered by his heaven flame. Yimo could use 4 waves for the wave kill god art now, but in order to not waste immortal essence, he only used 3. The 3 waves went after the huge demonic immortal spirit beast one after another. Luckily Yimo's wave kill was also 100 meters tall, or he wouldn't even be able to surround this demonic immortal spirit beast. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Then, the demonic immortal spirit beast spat out black mist. The black mist clashed with Yimo's wave kill and the nearby space immediately erupted violently. The space ripples were obvious. The 3 wave kills were engulfed by the mist and the searing heat gradually dropped low before disappearing. However, this level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast's Kai weakened down. The 2 immortal kings behind Yimo were experienced and released their magic artifacts to attack without Yimo asking them to. When Yimo's wave kill was engulfed by the black mist, his immortal essence backlashed and he retreated 100 meters away. However, it wasn't very serious. The other Immortal King middle stage released a hexagonal mace, meanwhile Ping Ju Immortal King released a rune with destructive Kai. Yimo could tell the rune wasn't simple, it was at least level 8 immortal rune. No wonder Ping Ju Immortal King was confident in fighting this level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Before the mace even neared the demonic immortal spirit beast, it was slapped away by a huge claw. Yimo instantly released lightning sand. This was the first time Yimo used lightning god art. A black lightning spear with some gold and blue color hacked down from the edge of heaven, bringing about a feeling of world annihilation. The demonic immortal spirit beast shivered. This Kai gave him an extreme sense of danger. Ping Ju Immortal King was dazed. Yimo yelled, Ping Ju, hurry up and attack and then take your friend away. Leave this to me. Ping Ju immediately released the rune and then listened to Yimo retreating with the other Immortal King. The demonic immortal spirit beast felt the powerful lightning magic and knew the danger. He spewed out even more black mist, instantly covering up a radius of 100 kilometers. A few 103 kilometers long black mist spears formed. The demonic immortal spirit beast was terrifying, but it was still affected by the heaven flame, and Yimo's lightning sword Kai had a natural counter to demonic immortal spirit beast. Otherwise, these spears would have long formed. But if they completely formed, none of them would be able to get away. Rumble. An even louder explosion sounded, and those black spears seemed to about to cripple. Yimo knew this was the work of the rune and urged lightning sand to attack. That 3 kilometers long huge lighting spear struck, and in that instant, the destructive Kai tore open the demonic immortal spirit beast's demonic mist barrier instantly. The nearby unstable space shook even more. Thud rumble. There was explosive Kai everywhere in the mist, but Yimo could clearly feel the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast was only heavily injured. Lightning sand struck the demonic immortal spirit beast when he was fighting off the rune. Otherwise, even if lightning sand struck the demonic immortal spirit beast, it might not be injured. The battle was already at this stage. How could Yimo give the demonic immortal spirit beast time to breathe? Now that the two immortal kings were gone, Yimo released World Rock and used another god art, Tai Mountain Crush. The huge World Rock formed a mountain and smashed directly above the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Yimo could feel that the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast didn't seem to have many god art, nor did he know how to use them properly. Immediately, the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast sunk into the ground. In a fit of roars, the demonic immortal spirit beast punched the World Rock away while charging out form underground. It turned to run. Yimo was shocked. It was this heavily injured but still didn't die. It was too powerful. But now, its Kai had weakened. Yimo put away the World Rock and used 4-wave kills. At the same time, Yimo hacked out lightning sand again. The already weakened level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast was pinned to the messy ground by lightning sand. Yimo sat down fatiguely. He felt he was too lucky. This level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast never even attacked properly, but it was already this tough. Otherwise, even with the level 8 rune and heaven flame lightning strikes, he wouldn't be able to beat it. As soon as he recovered some immortal essence, Yimo felt shadowless desperation. Clearly it wanted to devour this level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast, but the guy knew without Yimo's approval, he can't come out of the golden page world. 15 minutes later, Yimo was about down recovering. Ping Ju and Su Huan and them all rushed over. A level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast wasn't simple. Even just this body was worth countless immortal crystals. Yimo was an immortal king primary stage, and although he had the help or two immortal king, it was extremely shocking that he could kill a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Su Huan immortal king and them came to thank Yimo and respected him even more. This time Yimo accepted their gratitude and put away the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. 6 days later, Yimo took Zhen Bingyu and left Zhong Pro Heaven. He helped kill some high-level demonic immortal spirit beast and more than half of the ordinary demonic immortal spirit beast. The rest of them didn't need him to attack anymore. After entering the void, Yimo released Spacetime Boat and threw the demonic immortal spirit beast into the golden page world to Shadowless. This time Yimo didn't let Shadowless and Small Ginseng control the Spacetime Boat. Shadowless involved too many things. It wasn't that Yimo didn't trust Zhen Bingyu, but sometimes, secrets are exposed unintentionally. Zhen Bingyu didn't go for cultivation. She spoke about her experiences after parting with Yimo. He also knew why Kai Feng Immortal King didn't appear. He was still in the Dao-seeking tower. Yimo also got another news. It was that some people believed he was still inside while some people felt he left in less than a year. The two weren't lonely on the journey. Yimo was now Immortal King but Zhen Bingyu was only Great Unity Immortal. The difference in power was too great. Zhen Bingyu thought that when she was Abstruse Immortal Middle Stage, Yimo was only Golden Immortal. She knew that she would never be able to catch up to Yimo. The difference between them would only become greater and greater. The two weren't lonely on the journey. Yimo was now Immortal King but Zhen Bingyu was only Great Unity Immortal. The difference in power was too great. Zhen Bingyu thought that when she was Abstruse Immortal Middle Stage, Yimo was only Golden Immortal. She knew that she would never be able to catch up to Yimo. The difference between them would only become greater and greater. Yimo took out a pile of pills of Zhen Bingyu. Zhen Bingyu didn't reject them. She knew Yimo didn't need them anymore. Even so, when she saw the 3 Yi King pills, she dazed for a long while. Even her master didn't have Yi King pill. Even Extreme Sword Sect was annihilated because they had Peng Yu Immortal Fruit. Now that the sect and her martial brothers and sisters no longer existed, she easily obtained 3 Yi King pills. Thinking about when she left Gong Hua Heaven with Yimo, she felt even more sad. Martial brother, there's still some time before Gong Hua Heaven. I want to go into solitary cultivation. Zhen Bingyu suddenly said something completely irrelevant. Yimo sighed. He knew what Zhen Bingyu thought. Her cultivation progress was too slow and wasn't even Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage. With her talent, if she had large amounts of cultivation resources, she could have reached Great Unity Immortal Tertiary Stage. Okay, try to reach Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage before Gong Hua Heaven. Yimo nodded. He had time formation disc but Zhen Bingyu didn't. Space-time boat traveled through the void. The distance between Middle and Low Heaven Domain was much smaller than Middle and Grand Heaven Domain. Here, the void chaos flow and asteroid rivers were also much smaller. This way, space-time boat was faster. Yimo estimated they would be able to arrive in Gong Hua Heaven in 2 years. A year and a half later, when the space-time boat was near Gong Hua Heaven, Yimo sensed Zhen Bingyu's Kai. Yimo knew she reached Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage. Indeed, with Zhen Bingyu's talent, if she had resources, her cultivation speed was much faster than his. Zhen Bingyu was consolidating her power. Yimo didn't disturb her. He slowed down the boat. 10 days later, Yimo passed through the domain border and went into Gong Hua Heaven. Yimo didn't keep flying the space-time boat here. He stopped and changed his face back to what he originally looked like. He maintained his power to Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage. Some people knew him in Gong Hua Heaven. If he reached Immortal King in just a few decades, this would definitely soon spread across the other heaven domains. With his talent, it was already very absurd there was Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage. Once Yimo stopped the ship, Zhen Bingyu stopped cultivation and walked out of the space-time boat. Congratulations, Martial Sister Bingyu. Yimo smiled. Zhen Bingyu smiled. She was very happy. If she didn't come with Yimo, she would need at least another 200 years to reach Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage. Martial brother, what plans do you have? Zhen Bingyu saw Yimo hide his power to Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage and asked. Martial Sister Bingyu, I want to build my own sect. I have many friends who will meet up at Gong Hua Heaven. I must have my own place. Yimo said. If Zhen Bingyu didn't have a place to go, he hoped she would join his sect too. Zhen Bingyu was already planning to go with Yimo, so she immediately answered, I want to go check out Extreme Sword Sect, then I'll go with Martial Brother to sect up a sect. Okay, but I can't set up a sect with my current identity. When I set up sect, I need to use another identity. Yimo agreed. It would be a joke for a Great Unity Immortal to set up a sect. Shin Kuan Immortal City, this was Yimo's second time coming here. It was still like the same. Shin Kuei Grand Emperor's statue still stood. He thought of the first time he saw this statue, the fervor and desire he had, but now, he only had an extremely calm mentality. Yimo was no longer a small abstruse immortal, he was now a status immortal too. Zhen Bingyu sighed. Last time she was carried over here on Yimo's back, but now, She was great unity immortal middle stage. If only her sect wasn't annihilated. Yimo immediately noticed something wrong coming into the city. Many eyes stared at him and Zhen Bingyu. Soon, he knew what was wrong. His power was lower than Zhen Bingyu, but Zhen Bingyu followed closely behind him. If Zhen Bingyu was ordinary looking it would be fine, but after she went through nirvana she only became prettier. Martial Sister Bingyu, you walk at the front. Yimo sound transmissioned. Before Zhen Bingyu could react, she heard a crisp voice call out Martial Sister Bingyu. Zhen Bingyu shook and immediately saw Qin Yanmei standing at the window of a spirit rest tower. Qin Yanmei was even more excited. She flew down from the window. It really is you, Martial Sister Bingyu. Qin Yanmei was much more mature than before. Yimo wondered why she even dared to appear here. Yanmei, is my master okay? Zhen Bingyu asked shakily. Qin Yanmei quickly said my father and Martial Uncle Ren are both well. Martial Uncle Ren is very worried about you. When she heard you were carried to Middle Heaven Domain, she was even more worried. She was planning to go to Middle Heaven Domain. Oh, by the way, Martial Uncle Ren has become status immortal and is now the Mo Qing Immortal King of Extreme Sword Sect. My father is an Immortal King too, his Ji-He Immortal King. Extreme Sword Sect is rebuilt, our cultivation levels are going up very fast, I'm almost abstruse immortal middle stage. Martial Sister your power. Only now did Qin Yanmei realize Zhen Bingyu was great unity immortal. Now that the number one elder and the sect leader both became Immortal King, Freedom King is probably no match for them. If that Freedom King still wanted the Mist Lotus Heartfire, Yimo hoped he would come. Why are you with Martial Sister Bingyu? Qin Yanmei just saw Yimo next to Zhen Bingyu. To her shock, Yimo's power seemed to be obscure, as though much higher than his. Martial Sister Bingyu? Qin Yanmei just realized that Zhen Bingyu seemed greatly different to before. She was prettier and had less of that cold attitude. Qin Yanmei looked at Yimo and then Zhen Bingyu. She really didn't dare to believe these two would be together. She looked at Yimo and asked in shock, Yimo, you wouldn't be the one who carried Martial Sister Bingyu onto that immortal ship, right? Martial Sister Yanmei, Martial Brother Yimo saved me. Zhen Bingyu said. Martial Sister Bingyu. Another voice of surprise and joy sounded. Hai Chuanwu's figure appeared before Yimo and Zhen Bingyu. Behind him was one man and woman. The woman also came up. Martial Sister Bingyu, you're back. She was called Shayayo. The man was the only one Yimo didn't know. He was Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage and looked ferocious but handsome. He seemed extremely confident. Seeing this man, Qin Yanmei immediately forgot about Yimo and quickly held Zhen Bingyu's hand. Martial Sister Bingyu, this is Martial Brother Yang Jiutao. He's also a sect members now. Seeing this man, Qin Yanmei immediately forgot about Yimo and quickly held Zhen Bingyu's hand. Martial Sister Bingyu, this is Martial Brother Yang Jiutao. He's also a sect members now. While Qin Yanmei was ranting non-stop about her boyfriend, Hai Wuchuan looked at Yimo with eyes like he was going to kill him. You're Yimo? Yang Jiutao looked at Yimo plainly and said. He had heard of Yimo many times. Qin Yanmei brought him in and Hai Chuanwu belittled Yimo more than once in front of him, so he didn't have any good impression of him. Yimo acted as though he didn't hear the words. He didn't even want to answer to this arrogant tone. Would an immortal king waste time with a great unity immortal? Yimo, Martial Brother Jiutao is talking to you. Qin Yanmei saw Yimo didn't answer Yang Jiutao and immediately became unhappy, reproaching loudly. Without Yang Jiutao, Qin Yanmei had some gratitude towards Yimo, but now that Yang Jiutao was here, her focus was on him. Martial Sister Bingyu, where do you plan to go now? Yimo ignored Qin Yanmei as well. It was purely a deal between them. If Qin Yanmei didn't step on him to please the person she liked, Yimo would act like before, but now she can piss off. Zhen Bingyu immediately said, Martial Brother, I'm going to see my master first. Okay, in that case, I'll be going first. Yimo turned to leave without any intention of going up. Qin Yanmei was furious that she was ignored in front of the person she loved, and the person she loved was ignored too. She stared at Yimo and said hatefully to Zhen Bingyu, Martial Sister Bingyu, this person is too rude. But what answered her was Zhen Bingyu's back figure and Zhen Bingyu saying, "Martial brother Yi Mo, I'll walk you off." Zhen Bingyu wasn't going to walk Yi Mo off, but she didn't want to reply to Qin Nianmei. She was the sect leader's daughter and Zhen Bingyu didn't like reproaching martial sisters, so she used this opportunity to leave. Martial sister Bingyu seemed to have changed, she wasn't like this before. Shi Yuya said dazedly. Martial sister Bingyu is innocent, and after staying with that bastard for this long she would be tricked by him. This bastard, I'll never let him go. Hai Wuchuan said coldly. Yang Jiutao said plainly, when I heard Nianmei mention him, he was only golden immortal middle stage, but now his great unity immortal primary stage. It seems his talent is quite good. I heard he's a level 3 immortal pill master too. Brother Jiutao, he's just an solo cultivator from a small town. Great unity immortal is his limit. How can he compare with you? Aren't you level 3 immortal pill master too and about to reach level 4 immortal pill great master? Qin Nianmei explained. Hai Wuchuan laughed. Of course, if martial brother Jiutao wasn't so excellent, the sect leader wouldn't loosen up so easy. But this Yi Mo isn't simple. One cauldron of his pill made the sect leader almost marry martial sister Nianmei. Martial brother Hai, Qin Nianmei said unhappily. This person's kai is soft and not sharp. He ignores me on the surface, but he doesn't release any killing intent. One could see he had never been through killing. An immortal who hasn't gone through that will never understand the true secret of being strong. Even if he reaches immortal pill great master, there's nothing special. Yang Jiutao said calmly. Qin Nianmei said curiously, brother Jiutao, if they really went to middle heaven domain, how could they not experience killing? Yang Jiutao smiled. Martial sister Bingyu didn't admit if they went first of all. Second, if they hide in a place to cultivate, I believe no one would know. But I feel this Yi Mo is very attractive. After he left, martial sister Chuanmore mentioned him more than once. Then, she left the sect herself. Shi Yayo said on the side. Haha, that's not worth mentioning. Yang Jiutao. To him, a person who's stuck in lust would have a limited future no matter how talented he was. Reaching the top was everything. If anything stopped his path, he would kick it aside. Even if Qin Nianmei blocked his cultivation, he would kick her away without hesitation. It was because his heart was so firm that he went to the Chaos Star realm alone, become far stronger than his peers. He was Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage and about to reach level 4 Immortal Pill Great Master. He felt even Middle Heaven Domain or Grand Heaven Domain prodigies were only like this. Your master is here. Before Yi Mo released Flying Magic Artifact after the two left the city, Yi Mo stopped and smiled. Bingyu, you're really back. A voice said with surprise and joy. At the same time, two figures landed. It was Zhen Bingyu's master Yang Ren and sect leader Qin Peifu. Nasta. Zhen Bingyu went up and bowed. She thought she wouldn't get to see her master for her entire life again, but now she saw her master when she just came back to Gonghua Heaven. Yang Ren was very happy too. Zhen Bingyu was her favorite disciple. She taught her like her own daughter. When she found out that Zhen Bingyu was heavily injured and carried onto an immortal ship, she was almost going to leave Gonghua Heaven and chase over. But Extreme Sword Sect needed to be rebuilt and she couldn't leave. Freedom King was Immortal King middle stage. She could stop him with Qin Peifu, but if one left, it would be dangerous. I didn't expect it to be you, Bingyu. Was he the abstruse immortal who carried you away? Yang Ren looked at Yi Mo and asked Zhen Bingyu. Zhen Bingyu quickly said yes, Master, if it wasn't for martial brother Yi Mo, I would be long gone. Hearing this, Yang Ren was shocked. How could she not have realized her disciple's change? Zhen Bingyu's tone meant that Yi Mo was equally as important to her. Although she was shocked, she kept calm on the surface and smiled to Yi Mo. Thank you for saving my disciples. I looked favorably of you before, you're very good. Yi Mo saluted with his fists. Yi Mo greet sect leader Qin and elder Yang. Qin Peifu was also happy seeing Yi Mo just like before. He smiled. Pill Master Yi's progress is astounding. You were only Golden Immortal before, but now you're Great Unity Immortal. Perhaps your pill concoction skills have skyrocketed too. Yang Ren sighed. How could she not know what Qin Peifu felt? Qin Peifu really didn't like that Yang Jiutao. He liked this Pill Master Yi. But Pill Master Yi was gone and Qin Nianmei found the person she really liked. He had no choice but to agree. His mindset also changed a lot too after the sect incident. If it was before, Yang Ren would persuade Qin Peifu to go with Yi Mo, but now her disciple was with Yi Mo. If her disciple liked Yi Mo too, then of course she would help her disciple. If she wasn't wrong, Yi Mo was probably immortal pill great master now. But the Tao heart she taught Zhen Bingyu was different to how Zhen Bingyu was acting now. She needed to ask Zhen Bingyu about this. We received Nianmei's messenger flying sword and knew you were back, so we came. There were so many things Yang Ren wanted to ask, but she couldn't ask here. Qin Nianmei and them were all walking out of the city. Pill Master Yi, come to Extreme Sword Sect together, it's being rebuilt. When we're done, it will be the top immortal king sect of Gonghua Heaven. Qin Peifu looked at Yi Mo warmly. Of course he could guess what Yang Ren could guess too. If he could choose between Yang Jiutao and Yi Mo, he would definitely choose Yi Mo. Yang Jiutao was suitable for being core sect disciple and bring the sect to glory, but not suitable for son-in-law. Yi Mo saluted with his fists. Two immortal king masters, if I have time I will come visit again. I'll be off now, goodbye. Then Yi Mo released Blue Moon and instantly flew off. He didn't want to talk with Hai Chuanwu and them. When Yi Mo left, Yang Ren sound transmissioned, be careful of Freedom King, he wants the Mist Lotus Heartfire. Yi Mo waved his hand and disappeared on Blue Moon. Be careful of Freedom King? If that mere immortal king middle stage dared to come, he would be the first to kill him. This person is too rude. Qin Nianmei and them came up. Yi Mo stood on Blue Moon with a calm mind. It was good that Zhen Bingyu could go back to her master. He had too many things to do now. The first was to find a place with dense immortal spirit Kai for his sect. Yi Mo stood on Blue Moon with a calm mind. It was good that Zhen Bingyu could go back to her master. He had too many things to do now. The first was to find a place with dense immortal spirit Kai for his sect. Yi Mo didn't plan to set up another immortal city in the immortal realm alone. He was going to build a sect to summon the cultivators from Luo Yu continent. The immortal city still needed to be set up too, but it would be outside the sect. But it's been half a month, and with Yi Mo's speed he had gone through half of Gonghua Heaven, but he still didn't find a place with dense immortal spirit Kai. However, he did some good mountains on the way and collected them into his Golden Page world. He had already collected more than 100 mountains in his Golden Page world. Just when he was thinking if he should call out Small Ginseng or Shadowless, his spirit sense scanned a familiar chariot. Yi Mo heard that immortal music again. Such familiar sound. Before, Freedom King's one wave of spirit sense almost crippled him, giving him an extreme sense of suppression. If he didn't have Bitter Bamboo and 3 Birth Chant, he would be traumatized. A few decades later, he was an immortal king now. Thinking about this, Yi Mo breathed. He didn't stop Freedom King and instead turned to leave. He believed Freedom King would come hunt him. It was his rule that anyone who saw his chariot would have to stop and make way. Now that he turned to leave, how could Freedom King let him go? Plus, Freedom King knew he had Mist Lotus Heartfire. He would definitely know what he looked like. The reason he turned to leave was because he didn't want to kill more people. There were at least a few hundred beautiful women on his chariot. Yi Mo's spirit sense scanned Freedom King, but Freedom King's spirit sense took a long while to see Yi Mo, and this was because Yi Mo let him see it. Even Freedom King could only barely see Yi Mo's figure leave, much less the other people on the chariot. Seeing someone dare to leave after seeing his chariot, Freedom King was furious. To him, when his immortal music sounded, who didn't know it was him? Yet this guy dared to leave after hearing it. Just when Freedom King wanted to use spirit sense to suppress Yi Mo, he felt the Kai of Mist Lotus Heartfire. Freedom King rose up out of the chariot and said, "Wait for me here, I'll be back soon." He had to speed up as that Kai was about to disappear. Yi Mo saw Freedom King chase over and sneered. This guy should be called Arrogant King. All this guy did was ride in his chariot floating around every day showing off. It's you indeed, you run quite fast. 15 minutes later, Freedom King stopped Yi Mo. Ha ha ha. Freedom King laughed hysterically. I regretted so much letting you go before, but now it seems what is mine will be mine. My South Abyssal Hollow Flame is ready for Nirvana. I heard you're a pill master too, right? Perhaps you can work for me. I don't have to kill you, you can be my dog. Suddenly, Freedom King stopped. He felt things wasn't right. Emo didn't seem to be scared at all. His face was very calm. You're not scared of me? Freedom King actually asked. Emo said slowly, do you think it seems I'm scared of you? If I tell you that I've been waiting for you, would you believe it? Are you an idiot? Those years ago, I could hide the mist lotus heartfire and prevent you from noticing. After all these years, you can sense it instead. Do you think you're immortal monarch or immortal emperor? Freedom King shook, that was true. He chased over when he sensed the mist lotus heartfire. He didn't sense it before, but he sensed it now. This thought flashed and Freedom King expanded his domain and grabbed at Emo. He didn't need to use domain at all against a mere great unity immortal, but he was scared by Emo's words. Emo sneered and punched. Freedom King felt his domain crippled like ragdoll and then shatter under Emo's domain. You're an immortal king. Before Freedom King finished, he was swept by Emo's fistwind whirlpool. Rumble, Freedom King couldn't even release immortal artifact and was punched away. His immortal essence crippled and he spat many mouthfuls of blood. Before Freedom King could even think of running, Emo appeared before him and grabbed Freedom King in his hand like a little chicken. Freedom King was full of shock. Wasn't Emo just a small golden immortal? He was already very shocked that he reached Great Unity Immortal, but now he was clearly an immortal king, a very powerful one. He was instant killed. Immortal friend, Qianbei have mercy, Freedom King said worriedly. Just when Emo wanted to take Freedom King to a place for interrogation, his spirit sense saw a few familiar people. He reproached, how did you know I had missed Lotus Heartfire? And why did you annihilate Extreme Sword Sect? Don't attack, I'll say it. Freedom King no longer had that emperor feeling. He was like a rich second generation shivering. Emo couldn't help shake his head. Emo didn't even do anything, and this Freedom King said shakily because Qin Peifu and Yang Ren found some good things in a ruin. This included a bottle of Yi King pill. I heard from Gong Sunyin, it's also Gong Sunyin who said you had missed Lotus Heartfire. So I used that little girl as excuse, that girl called Zhen Bingyu. I saw her once, she seemed not bad, so. The more he spoke, the more Freedom King felt Emo's killing intent. Emo realized, so it was Gong Sunyin, this old bastard. He was friends with Qin Peifu and probably knew what Qin Peifu got. Qianbei, spare me, I'm willing to be your dog, Freedom King begged. Emo thought, it was good to have a henchman to do things for him, but he soon gave up the thought. This was too dangerous. Even if he controlled Freedom King's essence spirit and could kill him at any time, his secret could still be spilled. If news of him reaching Immortal King from Golden Immortal in a few decades got out, immortal emperors would be lining up to find him. Thinking about this, Emo smashed out his immortal essence. Freedom King, who had dominated Gonghua heaven for countless years, was easily killed. A white-purple flame floated in the air, it had 3 golden colors, it was Purple Nirvana level 3. Emo set up a few restriction and quickly put it inside a box. He knew this was South Abyss Hollow Flame, ranked 7th amongst all the heaven flames. The next moment, he took a ring too. Emo didn't have much hope towards this ring. After all, he killed 2 Immortal King tertiary stage and didn't get much. But when Emo's spirit sense scanned inside, he was dazed. There were piles of level 7 and level 8 Immortal Spirit Herb and even 1 level 9 Immortal Spirit Herb. There were 5 billion immortal crystals and 2 middle grade and 3 low grade immortal ranges. After taking the ring, Emo put a mask on his face and changed into a blue-robed skinny middle-aged man before heading to the people he saw before. At the entrance to a valley, a few immortals were discussing. Martial Sister Jiang, I don't want to go to Mo Yi Heaven Zi Shuang Immortal Sect. Brother Yi said he would come Gonghua Heaven. I want to go adventure with him. One bulky man said with a frown. There was a dark skinny female immortal next to the man. She immediately said, Sister-in-law, I want to wait for Brother Yi with Brother Yi at Gonghua Heaven. You really want to go to Mo Yi Heaven? It was an extremely pretty woman being asked. Her body was also very good. She immediately said, Brother Yi, a Zhu, Of course I wouldn't go to Mo Yi heaven alone. Brother Yi has helped us a great deal. Since we're here, of course we're going to wait for Brother Yi. Pill Master Yi taught me, when my wife and I were fleeing around, Pill Master Yi took us in. We're going to wait for Pill Master Yi here like Brother Yi. If it wasn't for Pill Master Yi, I would still be around Golden Immortal. One abstruse immortal primary stage handsome man said. These were Yi Teng, Tongzhu, and Jiang Jin that Yimo met at Blackweed Town, as well as North Far State Immortal Herb Valley founding father Liu Zhongyan and his wife Liu Man. Hearing this, a rather chubby man said worriedly, it's fine if we stay here, but martial sister Jiang Jin ours passed through the first round of test and was chosen by Zishuang sect. If we don't go to the second test, I'm afraid they might get angry. Yes, I heard that elder say that martial sister Jiang Jin is a natural seduction body. If we annoy such a big sect, we wouldn't even know how we die. A female immortal next to the chubby man said worriedly. Jiang Jin sighed. If I knew this, I wouldn't have gone to the test. It's me who is to blame. I just saw they were taking insects, but I didn't ask which heaven domain they were from. I didn't expect Mo Yi heaven would come to Gonghua heaven for disciple. This is very rare. Yi Ting frowned. Before Yi Ting finished, he stopped and said respectfully Qian Bei. The rest of them all called Qian Bei respectfully. A blue-robed skinny middle-aged man suddenly appeared before them. Are you guys Yi Teng, Tongzhu, Jiang Jin, Liu Zhongyan, and Liu Man? Yimo asked. He didn't know the other man and woman. Yimo trusted them, but he didn't want to casually expose his identity. Yes, Qian Bei, it's us. Yi Teng quickly said. These few people were very nervous. They couldn't see Yimo's power. He was quite possible a great immortal. If this great immortal was from Zishuang sect, then what they said was inappropriate. Yimo nodded. I'm Yimo's martial brother. Yimo is in solitary cultivation right now. He asked me to come to Gonghua heaven and help him establish a sect. He mentioned you guys to me and showed me what you look like. I was planning to go to Blackweed Town to find you, but I didn't expect to be able to see you guys here. Saves me some time. Yi Ting and them dazed. They came to Gonghua heaven to find Yimo, but it had been a few decades and there was no news of Yimo. They didn't feel Yimo had left. They thought their power was too low and couldn't find the entire Gonghua heaven. Qian Bei, you're really sent by Brother Yi? Tongzhu asked nervously. Yimo smiled. Of course. Yimo said you guys would either be in Blackweed Town or Gonghua heaven. It's so indeed. He said wants to set up a sect so that all the cultivators who ascended from Luoyu continent can gather here. This sect will be called Moyu Immortal Sect. If you guys are willing to join, then come find a sect ground with me. If not, I won't coerce you. I believe, I'm willing to join. Yi Ting said immediately. Yimo mentioned to him about setting up a sect called Moyu before. Plus who would be that bored to come trick them? Their talent wasn't great and they were very poor. I'm willing. Other than the two Yimo didn't know, the rest all agreed. Yimo was very happy. You guys don't need to call me Qian Bei, just call me Martial Brother Luo. I will be providing the cultivation method you guys will be using. Yimo said. Hearing this, everyone else other than Yi Teng was very happy. Yi Teng said yes, Martial Brother Luo, but Martial Sister Jiang Jin was favored by Zishuang Immortal Sect. Yimo smiled and waved his hand. I already heard your conversation. She only went through the first round test, so she wasn't a part of the sect yet. Plus in the low heaven domain, Zishuang Immortal Sect was at most an immortal king sect. Martial Brother Luo, Zhui Yushan, and Xue Meiyu have been teaming Pu with us. Would they be able to join too? Yi Ting pointed at the two Yimo didn't know and asked. Yimo saw that one was Golden Immortal Tertiary Stage and one Golden Immortal Middle Stage. Yi Teng was only Golden Immortal Peak Stage now. Tongzhu and Jiang Jin were just Golden Immortal Primary Stage. Of course, our sect is being built, we need to take in disciples. Of course I will welcome them. Yimo smiled to the two. Since you guys all joined, we're willing to join too. Zhui Yushan and Xue Meiyu said at the same time. Yimo nodded. The friends Yi Teng made were good. If it was some ordinary person, he might wait for a while. After all, the Zishuang Immortal Sect thing wasn't over. Okay, then we'll all be part of the same sect. I'll be the martial brother, The rules of the sect will be decided by us. Yi Mo then took out tens of immortal artifacts and said each one of you can pick 3. As the founders of Mo Yu Immortal Sect, you can't not have good magic artifact. Top grade attack immortal artifact. Top grade flying immortal artifact. Top grade defense immortal artifact. All of them took in a cold breath. These things were used by big sects. Since when could they get to use it? Even if they had it, they wouldn't dare to use it. It would be robbed immediately. What shocked them even more was to follow. Yi Mo threw out 7 storage ring. There are pills in these rings, including Great Unity Pill, 1 each. Hearing this, the 7 were completely dazed. Such pills were only used by core disciples of top sects in the low heaven domain. Yet this martial brother Luo gave them so much. Put the things away. Mo Yu Immortal Sect will be built in the grand heaven domain in the future. These things are really nothing. Yi Mo reminded. Finally, they put the magic artifact and storage rings away. They were more excited about the future now. How could someone who took out this many good things be ordinary? Yi Mo then said, now, we need to find a place to build the sect. You guys have been in Gonghua Heaven for a while. Do you know which place has good immortal spirit Kai? Zhuo Yuesheng's heart was still beating fast. He almost felt this wasn't real. He wouldn't be able to afford these things after a few thousand years, but now it just appeared in his hand out of thin air. After getting so much, he was desperate to help build the sect, so he got up and said, Martial Brother Luo, I know a place. It's very large and the immortal spirit Kai is extremely dense. There's mountains and rivers nearby. It's a beautiful place. Where is it? Yi Mo asked desperately. Zhuo Yusheng quickly said it's good, but a level 7 immortal spirit beast appeared there once, and in the depth there are poison mists. Even Great Eternity Immortal wouldn't dare to go in, but I heard that the poison mist can be drawn away by formation. I just don't know if it's real or not. Brother Zhuo, are you talking about Shanglai Immortal Mountain? Yi Ting immediately asked. Shanglai Immortal Mountain was very famous in Gonghua Heaven. The immortal spirit Kai here was dense, but one couldn't cultivate here as there was poison inside. Shanglai Immortal Mountain was very famous in Gonghua Heaven. The immortal spirit Kai here was dense, but one couldn't cultivate here as there was poison inside. Now, the group had appeared at the outskirts of Shanglai Immortal Mountain. It looked obscure from a distance. There seemed to be a few extremely high peaks inside with clouds circulating around. In the middle, there was a huge lake that was nearly 100 km square area. This place was indeed a good place to build sect. Many sects have come prospecting here, but they couldn't draw away the poison. Even if they did, it would come back after a while. Therefore, no one came here. Zhuo Yusheng said. Yi Mo thought for a moment and took out a jade slip and drew out the grand immortal sites of the grand heaven domain on it. After some thought, he drew some special features of Mo Yu City onto the jade slip. Then he gave it to Yi Teng and said, this is the plan for the immortal city. You guys set up an immortal city on the outskirt of the Shanglai Immortal Mountain. The size can be the size of average immortal cities. Yi Teng took the jade slip and said, Martial Brother Luo, what if we can't draw away the poison? There was something else he didn't say. Usually, it was immortal king sects that could build immortal city on the border of the sect. Yi Mo simled and took out 50 immortal crystals cards to Yi Ting. There's 5 billion immortal crystals here, just go build it. 50 billion is far from enough for an immortal city, but you don't need to save. You can hire large amounts of immortals to build. As for building a sect on the mountain, I will deal with it. These people were completely dazed. Yi Mo took out 50 billion immortal crystals in one go. What was this? This martial brother Luo was too wealthy. They had never even seen more than a few million immortal crystals, and Yi Mo just took out 5 billion straight up. Yi Mo hesitated for a moment and said, these immortal crystals are definitely too enough, but just use them. The city needs to look grand. Don't be scared of wasting materials. As for formations, you don't need to find people to set them up. Our city will be called Mo Yu Immortal City. If people are willing to invest in here or open by business or live here, you can record them based on the situation. I'll come out after I remove the poison mist. This place can be called Mo Yu Immortal Mountain now. Okay, Martial Brother Luo, I will definitely do this well. Yi Teng said firmly. Yimo nodded and took out a jade card to Yi Teng. This is a protection jade card. If there's anything, crush it and I will come immediately. Yimo was going inside the mountain to remove the mist. He can't watch them with spirit sense all the time. They were too weak and people would definitely notice them setting up Immortal City here. Seeing Yimo really take out all these things to build the city, everyone was overjoyed. If the city was built, they would be ancestor-level immortals. When they saw Yimo starting to build mountain protection formation, they immediately realized why Martial Brother Luo said they didn't need to invite people to set up formation. He was an immortal formation great master. Yimo came from Earth and knew that if any sect and power wanted to develop, there needed to be a flow of trade and a chain of supply. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to progress. He didn't know how many people would be ascending from Luo Yu continent, but he knew clearly that he can't provide cultivation resources for everyone. The sect members needed to go find it themselves and trade. Mo Yu Immortal City would be providing a platform for this trade. Yimo went into the mountain and set up another stealth formation. Of course, this can't hide the entire mountain, he didn't have that much materials too. The reason he set up the stealth formation was to call out Shadowless. Can you devour the poison mist here? Yimo called out Shadowless and asked. According to his understanding, there was nothing Shadowless couldn't devour. Shadowless sniffed and suddenly said happily, boss, this is good thing but there's no use in me devouring it. Yimo said with annoyance, of course I know it's useless for you to devour it. You devoured a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast core and you still can't reach Heaven Dao tertiary stage. It would be strange if this little mist would be enough for you. Shadowless smiled, boss, I don't mean it that way. I mean that if I devour the mist it would soon come out again. It's released by something. Oh, what is it? Yimo thought the poison mist was naturally occurring. Shadowless said, I heard small ginseng say that there's an immortal spirit beast called Spirit Feasting Beast in the immortal realm. It eats immortal range and immortal minds. It's completely white and very small. It can also store extreme pure immortal spirit Kai inside its body. After it eats immortal range, it would refine its body and remove any impurities. The poison mist are the impurities. It seems you have learned quite a lot with small ginseng. This beast is probably something you want to eat. Catch this beast, if I'm in a good mood I might let you eat it. Yimo immediately knew from Shadowless' tone that it wanted to eat the beast. Shadowless quickly said, boss, I can't catch it, there's definitely an immortal range here and it hasn't been found, meaning there's a top-grade natural stealth formation. Only small ginseng would be able to find it. Small ginseng said Spirit Feasting Beast are the previous form of immortal marrow crystal. Many immortal wells are formed after the beast dies. As soon as small ginseng was called out, it said, boss, I can find this natural formation. Then small ginseng charged into the mist. Yimo followed small ginseng and Shadowless could only followed behind Yimo. Small ginseng passed through some valleys and caves. 4 hours later, he came before a waterfall and pointed at a small lake. If you go down from here you can see the natural stealth formation. Yimo felt a dense immortal spirit Kai here. If small ginseng didn't show him the way, he really wouldn't be able to find it here. Can you enter the formation? Yimo asked. Small ginseng said, I can, but the beast is very cunning. If it's startled it would flee immediately. It's very fast, there's no one who can chase up to it. Yimo said, don't worry, I'm certain it can't get away. He was an immortal king and is prepared. If a small immortal spirit beast still got away then it would be really embarrassing. Hearing this, small ginseng moved and said, come with me. Yimo and Shadowless followed small ginseng into the earth. They walked for 1,000 steps before the view opened up. They arrived at a small space that was tens of kilometer squared area. There were 3 top-grade immortal ranges placed neatly. Clearly, the other empty spaces were for immortal ranges, but it was all gone. There's enough room for at least 9 top-grade small ginseng, but this bastard at 6. Small ginseng, tell me where that bastard is, I'm going to eat him. Shadowless said. Yimo knew that Shadowless said this so he could eat the beast, but he didn't care. He patted small ginseng's head and said, not bad, you can actually come in such high-level natural immortal formation, very good. Small ginseng said with embarrassment, boss, I'm just sensitive to natural formation. If it's formation set by some master, I can't go in. At the same time, a white figure many times faster than lightning struck across and disappeared. Small ginseng quickly said, "Boss, that's the spirit feasting beast, catch him. If he gets out of this space, we'll never be able to find it again. This guy would turn into immortal marrow crystal or the source of an immortal well." Yimo already expanded his domain and used tens of spirit sense nets to block off the surrounding. An ordinary immortal king really wouldn't be able to stop it. Yimo already expanded his domain and used tens of spirit sense nets to block off the surrounding. An ordinary immortal king really wouldn't be able to stop it. The spirit feasting beast doesn't have much batter power, its main ability was super speed. In his domain and spirit sense domain, the beast soon slowed down. Yimo could feel the powerful immortal spirit Kai wave of the beast. Who knows how many immortal ranges this guy had devoured. Yimo grabbed with immortal essence hand and the spirit feasting beast was in his hands. Shadowless came over looking pitifully at Yimo. Yimo didn't look at Shadowless. The spirit feasting beast's Kai was immediately gone when it came into his hands. There was only the terrifying immortal spirit Kai. Small ginseng quickly said, "Boss, it would lose its life force if any foreign Kai got a hold of him. But after that, it would immediately turn into immortal marrow crystal. The immortal spirit Kai inside the most pure, its cultivation effect is many times better. Some of them would turn into immortal marrow crystal after devouring many immortal ranges. Then after countless years, it would turn into all sorts of immortal wells. There's 9 immortal ranges here, I'm afraid someone is keeping it." So that's how immortal wells came to be. This was the first time Yimo heard of it, but this might just only be one of the ways immortal wells were formed. Yimo said this is a natural formation, it's very hard for people to find. It might not be kept by someone. At this moment, the dead spirit feasting beast turned into an immortal marrow crystal bigger than a cooking pot. Yimo thought that if he could devour this he might reach immortal king middle stage or even tertiary stage. At the same time, Yimo thought that if he placed this in Moyu Immortal Mountain, it could definitely form an extremely dense immortal well. Should he use it for cultivation or build an immortal well? Yimo was indecisive. As for giving it to Shadowless, he had long forgotten about it. Seeing Yimo hold the crystal, Shadowless called in a whine. Yimo immediately said, "You can't eat this, if you eat it one go, you will burst." Yimo believed that even Shadowless wouldn't be able to eat such a dense crystal in one go. "I can eat it slowly, one bite at a time," Shadowless argued. This wasn't easy to decide now. He did agree to Shadowless, but it was such a waste to give such a good thing to Shadowless. Thinking about this, Yimo coughed, "Can you reach immortal Tao if you eat it?" Shadowless hesitated for a long while and said, "Probably not." "Then you still want me to give you something this good to eat? How many people could break through with this? Stop wasting food," Yimo reproached in embarrassment. "I knew it would be like this," Shadowless said. "Go devour the poison mist the spirit feasting beast let out, that can be your reward." Yimo patted Shadowless' head. Shadowless grumbled, "Boss, don't trick me with such low-level tricks. If you want me to do things then I'll do it, don't make it seem like a reward." Helplessly, Yimo could only take out that level 9 immortal spirit beast core and gave it to Shadowless. "That's your reward." This is good, boss, you have so many good things. With this beast core, I can definitely reach tertiary stage." Shadowless ate the core immediately. Yimo put away the 3 top-grade immortal range and said, "If there's a sliver of poison mist left, you're over." "I promise there won't be half a sliver left," Shadowless said and rushed out to work. A day later, Shadowless and Small Ginseng returned to the Golden Page world. The poison mist was gone and Shadowless desperately went back to the Golden Page world to refine the beast core. Yimo stayed at the main peak of the Moyu Immortal Mountain thinking about how to set up this formation. Although he put away the immortal ranges, the immortal spirit Kai here was still much better than ordinary places. After 3 days, Yimo derived a defense formation. 100,000 void defense kill formation. This immortal formation would be set up with 100,000 refined mountains as formation flags. Each formation flag was closely linked. These were the clear formation flags, There would also be a set of stealthed formation flags. These two sets formed a defense and attack immortal formation. The good thing is that it can be upgraded at any time. Yimo could only set up level 6 peak immortal formation now. There wasn't 100,000 peaks in his golden page world, but there were 1,000. With the mountain peaks already here, there were about 1,200 mountain peaks. These were enough for the formation to be level 6 peak. Yimo put all the peaks around the Mo Yu Immortal Mountain into the golden page world and left the main peak. He would spirit control the main peak outside while the rest inside the golden page world. Yimo took out the time formation disk and used a day to spirit control the main peak. Then he went inside the golden page world and used time formation disk to spirit control the other ones. The main peak of the mountain had a 1,000-kilometer radius and soared into the clouds. The rest of the peaks were from a few kilometer to tens of kilometer radius. The biggest was only a few 100-kilometer radius. 2 months outside the time formation disk had passed and Yimo had spirit controlled all the peaks. Yimo left the golden page world and was about to set up formation when he felt the jade card he gave Yi Teng was crushed. Yimo was very assured with Yi Teng. He wouldn't crush the jade card if there wasn't something special. The next moment, Yimo appeared at the border of the mountain. The framework of a huge immortal city was there. Not even 10% of the city had been completed, but it already showed its grand force. But Yimo was furious. Yi Ting was bleeding over his face and suppressed to the ground. Liu Zhongyan and Zhuo Yusheng next to them were also bleeding from a powerful force. The tens of golden immortal cultivators and below were fell to the ground. It was a great eternity immortal tertiary stage suppressing him. Yimo sneered and a powerful force flew out like crazy. That great eternity immortal was immediately smashed away into a rock. Yi Teng and them instantly felt relieved. It was as though the mountain on them had been removed. Martial brother Luo, Yi Ting called out in surprise and joy. Yimo flicked a few pills into their mouths and asked what is going on. Yi Ting saw Yimo easily sweep away a great eternity immortal with his force and was very shocked. He immediately said, "We were building the city and hired a lot of people. Because we bought too many materials and they were too precious. 5 days ago a few great immortals came here. Among them were people from Zi Shuang Immortal Sect. They came to take away Jiang Jin. The other people saw the work here was huge and the poison mist were gone, so they said this was their land. They also sent out many news saying that the poison mist here was gone and people could come here to take land." "Where is Jiang Jin?" Yimo's tone had a sliver of killing intent. Zhuo Yusheng immediately said martial sister Jiang Jin had been taken away by Zi Shuang Immortal Sect people. Martial brother Yi Ting immediately crushed the jade card and we were suppressed by that person. The great eternity immortal tertiary stage came to his senses. Just Yimo's force almost tore him apart. He was already scared before Yimo spoke to him. He was a great eternity immortal tertiary stage and he almost died from Yimo's force. Yimo might even be an immortal monarch. Qian Bei, this great eternity immortal said fearfully. "You said that my land is yours. And you're going to take my people. If I didn't come, were you going to kill everyone here?" Yimo asked frigidly. "Yes, no. The great eternity immortal Occult T even speak." Yimo raised his hand and hacked out a sword ray. One arm immediately fell off. Yimo asked coldly, "Where was Jiang Jin taken to? Who took her?" "Jiang Jin was taken by Zi Shuang Immortal Sect. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just Peng Xie Immortal City's Immortal Ride Merchant Tower Manager," the Great Eternity Immortal said in horror. He didn't expect Mo Yu Immortal City's background was this strong. To him, Yimo was definitely an Immortal King tertiary stage. Although their power was stronger in the Peng Xie Immortal City, this place wasn't Peng Xie Immortal City. Even Immortal King wouldn't have time to save him. Jiang Jin was taken by Zi Shuang Immortal Sect. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just Peng Xie Immortal City's Immortal Ride Merchant Tower Manager, the Great Eternity Immortal said in horror. He didn't expect Mo Yu Immortal City's background was this strong. To him, Yimo was definitely an Immortal King tertiary stage. Although their power was stronger in the Peng Xie Immortal City, This place wasn't Peng Xie Immortal City. Even Immortal King wouldn't have time to save him. Seeing this great eternity immortal can't speak properly, Yimo threw another sword ray. Another one, his ear disappeared. Then, Yimo's voice sounded, be specific, if you can't then I will sever your hands and feet slowly. Yes, I'll say it. The great eternity immortal used immortal essence to stop the bleeding and said Moyu Immortal City had bought too much materials lately, we merchants are bewildered, then we got some news so we came to see. At the same time, Zishuang Immortal Sect found out that Jiang Jin was here so they took her. There's some connections between us so we came together. After coming here, we saw the poison mist was gone and there's about to be a beautiful city built here so we were all interested. Other than me, the rest of the people had gone back to Peng Xie Immortal City to discuss how to divide things. Because Jiang Jin is here, Zishuang Immortal Sect wants a share too. Martial brother Luo, Tongzhu, and Maishu also went with Jiang Jin. Zhuo Yusheng said. Yimo nodded and waved his hand sealing the immortal essence of this great eternity immortal. Then he said to Yi Teng and Zhuo Yusheng, you two come with me to Peng Xie Immortal City. Then Yimo gave Liu Zhongyan a jade card. You and Liu Man stay here to build the city. I will be back soon. There's 3 of my spirit sense attacks in the jade card. If someone dares to attack the city, use it. Yes, martial brother Luo. Liu Zhongyan answered. Yimo let him see what was real power. A possible great eternity immortal was defenseless against martial brother Luo. This meant that martial brother Luo might be an immortal king. Yi Ting brought up the great eternity immortal on the ground and jumped on a top-grade flying immortal artifact Yimo released. Peng Xie Immortal City wasn't close to Moyu Immortal Mountain. Yimo only used a very ordinary top-grade flying immortal artifact and took less than half a day to arrive. The abstruse Immortal City guards saw Yimo still flying in the air restriction and was about to go up to stop them. But when they saw the guy missing an arm and an ear in Yi Ting's hands, they immediately stopped. No one didn't know the guy in Yi Ting's hands. He was the #1 manager of the #1 merchant tower in the city, Jin Ying, Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage. Yet such a master was subjugated into that state. Who would dare to go up? They could only report this to City Lord and Immortal Ride Merchant Association. When Yimo went into the city, he scanned his spirit sense out. There was spirit sense restriction everywhere, but they were like broken nets to Yimo. Yimo came to assert dominance. How could he be merciful? For Moyu City to stand in Gonghua Heaven, he wouldn't be able to suppress those ambitious people if he didn't assert dominance. The immortal realm was like the cultivation realm. Power was everything. The City Lord of Peng Xie Immortal City was a great eternity immortal peak stage. When he heard that someone dared to break the rules and take down the manager of Immortal Ride Merchant Tower, he was furious and was about to charge out. But then, he felt a powerful spirit sense ravage through the spirit sense restrictions in the city. He was dazed. With such power, going up was suicide. These spirit sense restriction were like eggshells to Yimo. What can he, a mere great eternity immortal peak stage, do? Even if he wanted to suck up to Immortal Ride Merchant Association, he can't lose his life. The next moment, he sat back into his seat and calmed himself down. This wasn't something he could intervene in. All he had to do was suck up to the winner at the end of this. Immortal Ride Merchant Association was the #1 merchant association in Gonghua Heaven. Even in the rest of the low heaven domains, it was famous and had business everywhere. The reason it was so famous was because the #1 association leader was an immortal king primary stage peak. With the large amount of resources of the merchant association, Jin Zheng's power rose rapidly. He might even reach immortal king middle stage in another few acts. At this moment, the top floor of the Grand Hall of Immortal Ride Merchant Association was filled with people. Jin Zheng was sitting at the top. Next to him was a purple-robed Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. He was the vice-sect leader of Zishuang Immortal Sect, Ji Wuliang. Ji Wuliang was about to sit there because Zishuang Immortal Sect was an Immortal King sect. The sect leader Li Kai was an Immortal King middle stage. Ji Wuliang had a face full of smile and said, "We Zishuang Immortal Sect are outsiders after all. We don't want to intervene in that Shanglai Immortal Mountain. As for Shanglai Immortal City, we just want 10% of the land. Of course, We're willing to listen to Bi Qian Immortal King Master on the specifics of the share. Yes, sect leader Ji is right, we should listen to Bi Qian Immortal King Master. Another bearded Great Eternity Immortal got up and said. He was the manager of the second largest merchant tower in the city, half-god merchant tower Hongcheng. With these two opening up, the rest of the people all got up saying they were willing to listen to Bi Qian Immortal King. Bi Qian Immortal King Zhenzheng smiled since everyone says so I won't be too polite. Shanglai Immortal Mountain has always been surrounded by poison mist, since the mist is gone, it's a great thing for Gonghua Heaven. The immortal spirit Kai there is dense, our merchant association is all over Gonghua Heaven but we don't have a sect ground. Zhenzheng paused and after seeing no one objected, he nodded happily. I'm planning to use it as the sect grounds for Immortal Ride Merchant Association. The city will be shared by everyone, other than the 10% Zi Shuang Immortal sect takes, everyone else can share the rest. I believe with its location, Shanglai Immortal City will be the #1 immortal city of Gonghua Heaven. Plus, everyone saw the framework of the city. It's grand indeed, there has never been such a grand immortal city in Gonghua Heaven. The founder is indeed talented. Everyone agreed in unison. Yimo's spirit sense blades pierced countless spirit sense restrictions and found the most luxurious building in the city. It had the 4 golden words, Immortal Ride Merchant Tower. At the top of the building was a grand hall, there were some people gathered there. Other than some maids, the weakest were Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stages, there was even one Immortal King. At the same time, Yimo's spirit sense saw Jiang Jin, Tongzhu, and Shuemaishu. They were locked in a room but weren't hurt. Yimo scanned the hall, the Immortal King was vigilant and got up in shock. Seeing this, everyone looked at Bi Qian Immortal King in confusion. Yimo just came here and heard these people discussing how to share Mo Yu Immortal City and he was furious. The next moment, the door to the hall as well as the restriction was kicked open. Pity I won't allow it. Yimo's voice filled with bleak killing intent sounded. Everyone looked at the door, then they saw manager Zhen Ying. However, this glorious manager has lost an arm and ear. He was also in the hands of a small golden immortal. Everyone looked at the door, then they saw manager Zhen Ying. However, this glorious manager has lost an arm and ear. He was also in the hands of a small golden immortal. No one in the hall moved, they all looked at Zhenzheng. When Zhenzheng saw Yimo, he suppressed his fury. He could tell Yimo was Immortal King Primary Stage but his immortal essence was immeasurable. You're an Immortal King too, why did you break into our meeting hall? Do you think the Immortal Ride Merchant Association is easy to abuse? Zhenzheng said coldly. Yimo grabbed Zhenying and threw him into the center before sneering. I didn't think Immortal Ride Merchant Association is easy to abuse but do you think my Mo Yu Immortal Mountain is easy to abuse? Mo Yu Immortal Mountain? Where is that from? I've never heard of this Immortal Mountain, friend is this a misunderstanding? Zhenzheng was furious, he was certain this was a misunderstanding. He wasn't going to let things go like this. Yi Teng saw the Immortal King of Immortal Ride Merchant Association didn't even dare to fight Yimo immediately, how could he not know Martial Brother Luo is an Immortal King too? He immediately got out and said Mo Yu Immortal is the previous Shanglai Immortal Mountain. Our Martial Brother Luo removed the poison mist and told us to set up Mo Yu Immortal City and Sect but you guys want to take over it by force and you also robbed Martial Sister Jiang Jin. With this, everyone understood what happened. Zhenzheng clearly understood what happened too. Mo Yu Immortal Mountain's background was an Immortal King, but even so he was scared. He laughed instead. That's right, my Immortal Ride Merchant Association is interested in Mo Yu Immortal Mountain. You're a mere foreign Immortal King, and you dare to set up a sect in Gonghua Heaven quietly. Since you're an Immortal King too, I've give you some face. I'm going to take the mountain and that city, I'll compensate you 1 billion immortal crystals, as for injuring my manager, I'll let it go. Yimo smiled and couldn't be bothered talking anymore. He waved out a flame and Zhenying turned to flying dust. You're asking to die. Bi Qian Immortal King yelled in fury and released a red ray that instantly loomed over Yimo. The rest of the Great Eternity Immortals spat blood from the powerful Immortal King pressure. Yimo waved his hand and Bai Qian Immortal King's terrifying pressure was gone. As an Immortal King primary stage, Zhen Zheng was far weaker than Freedom King. He was worthless to Yimo. The next moment, Yimo released his Immortal King domain and Spirit Sense Blades. Zhen Zheng's body shook after being hacked by the Spirit Sense Blades. His Immortal King domain didn't even last 1 second and crumbled in Yimo's domain. Zhen Zheng immediately realized that he was weaker than an insect to Yimo. Yimo didn't even use his real power. If he did, he would be instantly killed. Zhen Zheng wanted Yimo to stop immediately, but that Spirit Sense Blade was too powerful. One mistake and it would hack into his sea of consciousness. He couldn't even talk. Then Yimo walked up and slapped. The red magic artifact was slapped to the side. The instant Zhen Zheng called out stop, Yimo slapped on his face. Zhen Zheng was an Immortal King, but he lost most of his teeth from this slap and his face was bloody. Thud, the pressure in the hall was gone. Bai Qian Immortal King was grabbed by Yimo like a small chicken. The battle nedded in a few seconds. Yimo sealed all of Zhen Zheng's meridians and dropped him next to his feet. Then he sat down on where Zhen Zheng sat today. He said to Yi Teng and Zhuo Yusheng, you two sit next to me. Yi Teng and Zhuo Yusheng woke up. Martial brother Luo was this powerful. He was definitely an immortal monarch. Which Immortal King would have such power? The two answered in surprise and joy, yes, Martial brother Luo. Then he looked at Zi Shuang sect vice sect leader and yelled, get off and invite Jiang Jin and them over. If they're missing one strand of hair, I'll go to Mo Yi Heaven and wipe your Zi Shuang sect clean. Yes, this vice sect leader said shakily. This Martial brother Luo was too scary. He instantly defeated Bai Qian Immortal King. He was certain that the sect leader Sai Cheng Immortal King was definitely no match for this murder god. Immortal friend, it was the Immortal Ride Merchant Association's fault, I apologize. Zhen Zheng struggled to crawl up. He was filled with fury but also regret. If he knew the background of Shanglai Immortal Mountain was this powerful, he wouldn't dare to scheme it even if it was 10 times bigger. He hated Jin Ying to the bones, but pity he was dead so he couldn't vent out his anger on him. Yimo scanned the shaky Great Eternity Immortals in the room and said slowly, you all want a share of my Mo Yu Immortal Mountain? We don't dare. Qian Bei, WN Bei was blind. Half-god Merchant Tower Fu Hong Chen looked bulky and clumsy, but he was the smartest one. Yimo said, since you were blind, then what should you do? Half-god Merchant Tower is willing to compensate Mo Yu for the losses and give the greatest contribution to Mo Yu Immortal City construction. As soon as he said this, Ji Wuliang had brought Jiang Jin and them over. Jiang Jin and them saw Yimo sitting at the top and Bai Qian Immortal King on the ground. How could they not realize what happened? They came up and greeted Yimo. Yimo told them to sit next to him too and said to Ji Wuliang, your sect leader is about to be here. Ji Wuliang shivered. He knew that Yimo knew about him notifying the sect leader. He shivered. WN Bei, no, I can't decide this, so I notified sect leader master. Haha. A laughter sounded. Zi Shuang Immortal Sect Li Kai greet Immortal King friend. At the same time, an extremely powerful Immortal Essence wave came. The terrifying Immortal King domain swept over the entire room. Just when everyone was feeling unbearably uncomfortable, a golden-robed man landed in the hall. Yimo sneered and reached out his Immortal King domain. At the same time, his Spirit Sense domain complemented his Immortal King domain. The room immediately eased up and then there was a light cracking sound. Li Kai's face changed greatly. He felt his Immortal King domain dissipate. At the same time, he found he was bound. His face changed greatly. Even if he was bound for 1 second, then Yimo could easily kill him. He couldn't laugh anymore. He burned his immortal essence like crazy and broke free of that terrifying binding feeling. At this moment, Yimo's calm voice sounded, if I wanted to kill you, not even your essence spirit would remain now. Li Kai sweated cold. From what he heard from Ji Wuliang, he thought Yimo ambushed Bai Qian Immortal King, but now it seemed Yimo really had the power to instant kill Bai Qian Immortal King and him. Li Kai quickly saluted with his fists respectfully. Zi Shuang Immortal Sect Li Kai greet Immortal Friend. Thank you for having mercy. Li Kai is willing to apologize for any rudeness. Hearing this, everyone in the hall realized that this martial brother Luo was far stronger than even Immortal King Sect. We can talk about the apology slowly, sit on the side first. Yimo said calmly. He came to assert dominance and get benefits, not to kill. Without benefits, he can't even keep building his city and sect. After Li Kai sat down, Yimo looked at Fu Hongcheng and said, you only have one chance. If you waste it, there won't be half-god merchant tower anymore. Okay, you can talk about how you want to compensate now. Fu Hongcheng didn't dare to test his luck at all. He went up and bowed respectfully. Master Luo, Mo Yu Immortal City bought a lot of materials from my merchant tower. In order to show my genuine will, we're willing to supply 20% of the materials needed to build Mo Yu Immortal City and supply 1 billion immortal crystals. If Mo Yu Immortal City needs half-god merchant tower to buy materials from other places, we're willing to help for free. Fu Hongcheng didn't dare to test his luck at all. He went up and bowed respectfully. Master Luo, Mo Yu Immortal City bought a lot of materials from my merchant tower. In order to show my genuine will, we're willing to supply 20% of the materials needed to build Mo Yu Immortal City and supply 1 billion immortal crystals. If Mo Yu Immortal City needs half-god merchant tower to buy materials from other places, we're willing to help for free. Yimo nodded. 20% of the materials is quite a lot, and this guy is willing to give 1 billion immortal crystals. He's quite serious. Very well, I'll take that 20% of materials. I won't let you give me the 1 billion immortal crystals for free. You can have a moderate-level merchant tower in Mo Yu Immortal City. Hearing this, Fu Hongcheng rejoiced. His heart was aching from giving so much away, but now that he got a merchant tower, he finally got some back. He quickly said, thank you Master Luo, WN Bei will do my best to help build the city. Very well, you can go now. You can go to my martial brother Yi Teng later. Someone like Fu Hongcheng would be much more experienced in city building than Yi Teng. Fu Hongcheng left happily. Yimo waved his hand and Zhenzheng's restriction was removed. He looked coldly at him. What does your Immortal Ride Merchant Association plan to do? Seeing how Li Kai couldn't even do anything against Yimo, Zhenzheng knew that Yimo could kill him all too easy. He had to grasp the opportunity, otherwise he would be over. He quickly bowed. I'm willing to supply 5 billion immortal crystals and provide 50% of the construction materials. Zhenzheng was ready to give out a lot. He knew that if Yimo didn't like what he gave, he would be over. Yimo nodded. On this account I'll let you go. If you offend me again, Immortal Ride Merchant Association will forever disappear. Yes, thank you Master Luo. Although Yimo didn't give him merchant tower, Zhenzheng still thanked in horror. Yimo thought and eventually said that 5 billion can be your investment. You can have a merchant tower at Mo Yu Immortal City too. The area will be double that of Half-God Merchant Association. Hearing this, Zhenzheng breathed easy. He didn't care about the merchant tower in Mo Yu Immortal City, but Yimo saying this meant that he wouldn't die. After Zhenzheng left, another black-faced Great Eternity Immortal came up. WN Bei Yi Tian Merchant Tower Kue Gu. We're not as big as Half-God Merchant Tower, but we're willing to supply 500 million immortal crystals and 10% of the materials. Okay, once you supply enough materials you can have a merchant tower at Mo Yu Immortal City. The area will be half that of Half-God Merchant Tower. Yimo said. After Kue Gu left, another beautiful young woman came up. She bowed to Yimo and then said, WN Bei Hai Lan Immortal City, Huanfeng Merchant Toa Lu Feng, I happened to come by. We're willing to supply the remaining materials needed for Mo Yu Immortal City construction as well as materials for future needs and supply manpower for city construction. On top of that, we're willing to supply Luo Qianbei with the materials to establish sect. Oh! Yimo looked at this Lu Feng in surprise. She didn't need to supply that much. She did so meaning she had something to ask. These things added together was so much more than what Zhenzheng supplied. What request do you have? Yimo asked. WN Bei want one chance of Master Luo fighting for us. Lu Feng said. Yimo immediately realized this Lu Feng was very cunning. It seemed this woman had a powerful enemy, but on account of what she agreed to give, Yimo nodded. Okay, I'm no good person, but I don't kill innocent people. As long as you have reason on your side and the opponent is below Immortal Monarch, I can help you once. Thank you Master Luo. WN Bei definitely won't dare to ask Qian Bei to kill innocent. Lu Feng thanked. Yimo gave her a jade card. When you need my help, bring the jade card over. Yes. Lu Feng took the jade card and retreated. The rest of the people heard Yimo's words and took in a cold breath. Yimo could kill anyone below Immortal Monarch. How dominant was such words? How many Immortal Monarchs were in the Low Heaven domain? He could pretty much kill anyone in Low Heaven domain. Zheng's mouth was bitter. Li Kai was shocked and rejoiced that there wasn't big feud between them. The rest of the people all said they were willing to contribute to construction. Yimo was happy with their attitude to let them go. Then Yimo looked at Li Kai. Li Kai got up and saluted with his fists. If there's anything you need, just tell me, immortal friend. Yimo smiled. Okay, I'm happy with what sect leader Li said. There's many warm-hearted merchant associations helping with city and sect construction. But this sect is built on my martial brother's request. My martial brother ascended from Luo Yu continent. He built this sect so the cultivators from Luo Yu continent can have a place to go. Yimo continued, I want to ask sect leader Li to help me set up a notification at the Immortal Ascension Palace and major immortal cities in Low Heaven domain telling Luo Yu continent cultivators they can come to Mo Yu Immortal City. Would you be able to do this? Immortal friend Luo, don't worry. Li Kai can definitely do this. Although this one's easy, he was an immortal king and had a sect behind him. Okay, thank you sect leader Li. When you help me do this, I'm willing to help you concoct a cauldron of immortal pill. Yimo saluted with his fists. Just him alone couldn't help a sect develop. It was easy to kill Li Kai, but compared with dealing with Li Kai, he would earn much more by doing the latter. Immortal friend Luo is an immortal pill great master? Li Kai asked in shock. Yimo wanted to use his status as an immortal pill grand master to bring fame to Mo Yu, otherwise, he wouldn't say this. Now that Li Kai asked, Yimo said sect leader Li is wrong. I'm not an immortal pill great master, I'm a level 7 immortal pill grand master. I can concoct level 7 immortal pill, but of course you need to supply the materials. What? With this, Yimo threw a bombshell in the hall. Everyone else was shocked. Level 7 immortal pill grand master? The entire Low Heaven domain didn't seem to have one. Yi Teng, Jiang Jin and them were already shocked by Yimo's power, but now that Yimo said he was level 7 immortal pill grand master, they opened their mouth wide in shock. In this case, Mo Yu immortal sect's future was boundless. Master Luo, you're really level 7 immortal pill grand master? Lu Feng asked shakily in shock. Yimo nodded immediately. Of course, after my city and sect is built, I will be taking in disciples from the entire Low Heaven domain. At the same time, I will concoct pills for 3 days for the entire Low Heaven domain. Yimo believed that with this, it was impossible for Mo Yu sect not to be famous. Lu Feng took out the jade card Yimo gave him shakily and another jade box. There was a Pengyu immortal fruit inside. Master Luo, WN Bei wants to ask Chen Bei to help me concoct Yi King pill. WN Bei only needs 1 pill. Seeing this, everyone looked at it with red eyes. This was priceless. They didn't expect Lu Feng had such thing. If there wasn't such a powerful immortal king here, they would have fought over it already. You just asked me to help you fight once. If you use it now, wouldn't it be a pity? Yimo took the jade card and Pengyu immortal fruit asking. Lu Feng said shakily, WN Bei is stuck at Great Eternity Immortal Peak stage for more than 10,000 years. I started a merchant association to gather resources to break through. I got a Pengyu immortal fruit, but I can't find an immortal pill grand master to help me concoct pills. Please help me. Okay, I can promise I will concoct the Yi King pill. Seeing how you're helping me build Mo Yu immortal sect, I'll give you 3 Yi King pill. Come wait for me at Mo Yu Immortal City a month later. Yimo said. Yimo had plenty of Yi King pills in his storage ring. News of Mo Yu Immortal City's construction spread through Gonghua Heaven in the quickest way possible and then the entire Low Heaven domain. News of Mo Yu Immortal City's construction spread through Gonghua Heaven in the quickest way possible and then the entire Low Heaven domain. There was no other reason but that there was an extremely powerful immortal king behind it and he was a level 7 immortal pill grand master. When some people who came to visit saw immortal King Luo enclose the mountain with formation, they just realized he was an immortal formation great master. Countless immortals flocked to Mo Yu Immortal City. Countless merchant associations also came to hear. How attractive would a city with a level 7 immortal pill Grand Master be? The most talented immortals all wanted to join Mo Yu Immortal City. The merchant association who wanted the most profits all wanted to have a merchant tower at Mo Yu Immortal City. Countless people came to Yi Ting. For the first time, Yi Ting saw there was this many people giving him immortal crystals and materials. Eventually, he couldn't even handle them all. Even with Liu Zhongyan and them to help, he was still too busy. Luckily, Lu Feng came. As the association leader of the number 1 merchant tower in Hailan Immortal City, she had high means and experience. Under her lead, Mo Yu Immortal City construction rapidly went on way. Although Yi Mo wasn't at Mo Yu Immortal City, Lu Feng and all the other merchant towers came to help. Even Bai Qian Immortal King came to Mo Yu Immortal City to help. With their experience and status, how could they not see the future of Mo Yu Immortal Sect and Immortal City? Mo Yu Immortal City was being perfected rapidly. There were too many merchant towers contributing materials. In the end, Mo Yu Immortal City used more grand and luxurious materials. There were tens of thousands of immortals working on construction. Because Yi Mo wasn't at the city, those people who came for Yi Mo sucked up to Yi Teng. During this time, people could only constantly hear huge rumbling sounds in Mo Yu Mountain, but no one dared to go in and see. They could all guess it was probably Master Luo setting up the formation. Just looking at that huge immortal mountain, how big would the formation have to be? Because of this, people respected Yi Mo even more. After what happened last time, Yi Mo gave Yi Ting and them a spirit sense attack jade card. But now who dared to attack the Mo Yu Immortal City managers? If they did, other people would already be helping. At this moment, Yi Mo was setting up his 100,000 void defense kill formation. Yi Mo laid down the 1200 mountain peak formation flags. 2 top-grade immortal range and 1 middle-grade immortal range and 3 low-grade immortal range. The framework of the formation started to show. To make the formation stronger, Yi Mo added in the extreme grade and top-grade immortal artifact he collected and forged into the formation too. Yi Mo focused on the formation that he forgot about his arrangement with Lu Feng. This was the end of the 2nd month and Yi Mo finally finished this infinitely close to level 7 immortal formation. There was 1 main peak of Mo Yu Immortal Sect, 8 vice peaks, 99 side peaks and 11,000 elder peaks. There were 1,208 peaks in total. These were the sect member cultivation grounds. When the formation was about to close, Yi Mo was very excited too. He stood on the main peak Mo Yu Peak and started to close the formation. As the peaks were joined up, the entire mountain made huge rumbling sounds. With this getting louder and louder, the immortals at the city all stopped what they were doing and looked at Mo Yu Immortal Mountain. The mountain protection formation is closing. Zhen Zheng looked at the obscuring mountain and murmured in shock. Hearing Zhen Zheng say this, everyone looked nervously at the mountain. Some immortals who wanted to join Mo Yu Immortal Sect all knelt down. Yi Teng and them also knelt down piously. This would be their sect. Mountain protection formation closing is a major. It is very important to big sects. More people started to kneel. The rumbling sound kept growing louder until 15 minutes later, everyone heard a huge crack. The heavens and earths seemed to have changed. From a distance they could only see rainbow clouds circulating mountain peaks. Below the rainbow cloud seemed to be a huge lake. A few extremely crisp immortal spirit trees reached out from the rainbow cloud seeming very lively. The dense immortal spirit Kai gathered and despite being stopped by the formation, everyone outside Mo Yu Immortal City could feel it. Such a good place, countless people were amazed and more were thinking about how to join Mo Yu Immortal Sect. Yi Mo stood at the main peak looking at the sect in joy. This place was just what he wanted. If he was going to build a sect at the Grand Heaven Domain, he would use this place as a blueprint. With the dense immortal spirit Kai from these immortal ranges, Yi Mo was certain it was on par with some of the Grand Heaven Domain sects. The next moment, Yi Mo opened the formation and came out. Everyone saw the scenery inside and the circulating immortal spirit Kai. This was where everyone wanted to cultivate. The immortal city is almost done construction. Yimo looked at the grand immortal city and sighed in amazement. Very well, I'm very happy. Yimo nodded. Yi Teng and them came next to Yimo. Yi Teng said pridefully, we received a lot of help. Lu Feng Qian Bei stayed in the city the whole time helping out, as well as Bai Qian Immortal King Master and Fu Hongcheng Sect Leader, as well as Peng Xie Immortal City Lord. Thank you, Brother Zhen. No matter what Zhen Zheng thought, he did help Mo Yu Immortal City construction a lot. Yi Mo was grateful. Zhen Zheng's teeth grew back long time ago. Hearing this, he came up to Yi Mo and saluted with his fists. Brother Luo, I was blind before, it's right of me to help the city a little. Okay, we'll leave the unpleasurable things in the past. If Brother Zhen stays like this, I won't mistreat you. Yi Mo waved his hand. Zhen Zheng wanted to hear this. When Yi Mo called him Brother Zhen, he knew what he did wasn't in vain. Peng Xie Immortal City Lord was called Wang Wangchuan, Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. His face was sallow but his eyes were bright. However, he did contribute to Mo Yu Immortal City construction. Yi Mo thanked him politely and promised to help him concoct a cauldron for free. Wang Wangchuan used almost half of his savings to help Yi Mo. Other than sucking to Yi Mo was to hear this sentence. Now that Yi Mo said this, he was very thankful. Lu Feng, I'm very sorry, I said I would give you Yi King Pill in 1 month, I didn't expect the sect formation took 2 months. I wasted a lot of your time but you helped me so much here. Yi Mo said. Lu Feng bowed. Master Luo, I've already waited for 10,000 years, how could I care about this 1 month? Plus, I'm truly happy doing things at Mo Yu Immortal City. Okay, just from what you said, Mo Yu Immortal Sect can't mistreat you, come with me. Yi Mo came to a huge empty ground outside Mo Yu Immortal City and set up formation flags. In a brief 15 minutes, Yi Mo set up a level 6 Immortal Spirit Kai gathering formation and threw out a few 100 million immortal crystals. Then he set up a defense and stealth formation outside the Spirit Gathering formation. Yi Mo gave a jade bottle to Lu Feng. This is Yi King Pill. You can go in and have your Immortal King Divine Damnation now, I'll help protect you as compensation. Lu Feng took the jade bottle blissfully. She didn't expect she would get a Immortal King to protect her. Lu Feng still couldn't believe the Yi King Pill in her hands. She didn't even dare to open it. Thank you, Master Luo, Lu Feng will definitely repay your help. Lu Feng walked into the formation excitedly. A great eternity immortal was about to break through to status immortal in front of everyone. This heated up the scene. Some people might never get to see the scene of Immortal King breakthrough, but now they could. This was an opportunity for enlightenment. Everyone outside the city found a good place ready to watch Lu Feng's Immortal King Divine Damnation. Zhen Zheng sighed. If Lu Feng reached Immortal King, her gratitude to Immortal King Luo would be coming from the bottom of her heart. Lu Feng walked into the formation and calmed down her mood before opening the jade bottle. Lu Feng walked into the formation and calmed down her mood before opening the jade bottle. Special grade Yi King Pill? 3. Lu Feng could no longer control her excitement. With her talent and foundation, she only needed 1 special grade Yi King Pill and she would have 60% chance of reaching Immortal King. All these years, she had hoped so much to get 1 low-grade Yi King Pill, but now she got 3 special grade ones. This meant that as long as she survived the Divine Damnation, she would definitely be Immortal King. 5 minutes later, Lu Feng calmed down again. No matter what, she must reach Immortal King this time. Lu Feng put 1 Yi King Pill in her mouth. It melted into immortal liquid immediately and nourished her meridians. Lu Feng never had special grade immortal pills before. She couldn't feel even a sliver of impurity inside and the effects were very potent. She quickly started to use her cultivation method to direct the potency at that not very distant Immortal King barrier. In just 1 short day in the formation, those people outside could notice the change in the sky. Rumblings sounded in the sky. The nearby people all knew that the Immortal King Divine Damnation was about to come. Those high-level immortals were shocked. The higher the grade of the Yi King Pill, the quicker the divine damnation came. Since the divine damnation came in one day, Yimo's Yi King Pill might be top-grade Yi King Pill. Crack! A few lightning bolts blasted across the sky. 3 bolts that were thicker than thighs struck down. Lu Feng, as the master of a merchant tower, had defense magic artifact. Of course, it was extreme grade defense immortal artifact. She also had a top-grade immortal armor. The 3 bolts were ferocious, but she blocked them. Unlike Yimo, she could only digest the immortal spirit Kai in the formation and use the Yi King Pill to charge at that barrier. She couldn't devour the lightning source. However, the lightning arcs could refine her meridian and body while cleansing her sea of consciousness. These were important factors in reaching Immortal King. To Yimo, this divine damnation was far weaker than his. It was weaker than even his great immortal divine damnation. However, it was quite something for Lu Feng. Seeing this, Bai Qian Immortal King knew Lu Feng's potential was greater than his. His Immortal King divine damnation wasn't this huge. As Lu Feng blocked the bolts of lightning, the nearby immortal sat down, feeling the immortal Dao waves from the divine damnation. Lu Feng's divine damnation went on longer than Yimo's divine damnation. After 27 bolts, it stopped. Until after a long time did the second wave come, but they were getting thicker and stronger. The Immortal King divine damnation was an extremely hard divine damnation to pass. Although it was beneficial to view it, a small part of immortals were also defeated and lost confidence in their Dao heart. When the 81 bolts of divine damnation was about to be over, a powerful force rose from the immortal spirit Kai gathering formation. The immortal spirit Kai turned into mist form and was devoured by Lu Feng. Half a day later, an immortal spirit cloud fell. Even Yimo benefited from the powerful Dao waves in the cloud. Everyone knew that Lu Feng succeeded in becoming Immortal King. This was the time to feel the Dao wave. Everyone held their breath and silently felt it. 3 days later, the immortal spirit Kai in the formation stopped. Lu Feng changed into a clean set of clothes and came out of the formation joyfully. She immediately came up to Yimo and bowed. "Thank you, Master Luo, for letting me reach Immortal King. Lu Feng wants to join Mo Yu Immortal Sect. Please take me in." Mo Yu Sect's power was much stronger than her merchant association alone. Although she earned large amounts of wealth, she still couldn't reach Immortal King. If she joined such sect, it would definitely benefit her cultivation much better. Yimo wanted to congratulate her but didn't expect her to ask to join Mo Yu Sect. He dazed and said happily, "Okay, welcome. You will be the sect elder form now on. There are 1208 peaks in the sect, there are 8 side peaks, you can go choose one." Even if Lu Feng wasn't an Immortal King, Yimo welcomed her to join greatly due to her capabilities. Lu Feng greet sect leader Luo. Hearing this, Lu Feng bowed in joy. Yimo quickly said, "I'm not the sect leader, I'm just the vice sect leader. The sect leader is still in solitary cultivation." Hearing this, everyone was more shocked. Immortal King Luo was already this powerful, but he wasn't yet sect leader. Was there a more powerful sect leader in solitary cultivation? With this, more people claimed they wanted to join Mo Yu Immortal Sect. Seeing this scene, Yimo was dazed. He didn't expect people to be this fervent. Yimo quickly flew high and said, "Mo Yu Immortal Sect construction isn't finished yet. Lu Feng has great contributions to us, so she joined ahead. When the sect is finished, we will take in disciples at the Mo Yu Immortal City Square. But don't have too much hope, although the sect just started out, our standards are very strict. As for the specific details, I will tell you guys later." Then Yimo looked at Lu Feng. "Elder Lu just reached Immortal King. Go find a place to stabilize your power first." Lu Feng quickly said, "Due to the top-level Yi King Pill, I've already pretty much consolidated my power. Mo Yu Immortal Sect needs people right now. I'll bring people to help with construction." "This is great." There were more than 1,000 peaks. It was no small feat. Yimo took out a jade slip he prepared. "I will go build my own main peak. Build the remaining 107 peaks based on the jade slip. When these are done, you can arrange people to build the other 1,100 peaks." Yimo then said loudly, "For all those sects or merchant association who helped with Mo Yu Immortal City construction, as long as I'm satisfied, I will concoct a cauldron of pills for you after the sect is completed. The pill concoction time is the 3 days I promised before, but if I find the peaks you build are bad quality, I suggest you don't apply because that wouldn't be helping you concoct pills. Hearing this, more people were excited. Level 7 immortal pill, just one was priceless, much less a cauldron. As for Yimo's threat, no one even cared, they would be working their best, how could it be bad quality? With this many people wanting to help, Lu Feng only needed to organize them. There wasn't even enough peaks to distribute. People would be competing on how to make the sect leader pleased. Yimo called his people over and told Jiang Jin and Shuemai Shu to help Lu Feng in construction. Meanwhile, Yi Teng, Liu Zhongyan, Liu Man, Zhui Yuxing and Tong Zhu would be responsible for people applying to stay in the city. The first batch entering the city would be a few big merchant towers. The rest would be some immortals who wanted to stay in the city to cultivate. Everyone who wanted to come in had to disclose their background and pay some immortal crystals. Mo Yu Immortal City was a new city, it didn't build a slum region. Yimo built an immortal city, not a charity city. Those who couldn't afford to stay can only wait till the day Mo Yu sect took in disciples. Those who were accepted didn't have to pay 1 immortal crystal and would have a better cultivation environment than Mo Yu Immortal City. Mo Yu Immortal City was a new city, it didn't build a slum region. Yimo built an immortal city, not a charity city. Those who couldn't afford to stay can only wait till the day Mo Yu sect took in disciples. Those who were accepted didn't have to pay 1 immortal crystal and would have a better cultivation environment than Mo Yu Immortal City. The Immortal City was done, Yimo started to build the Mo Yu Immortal City Defense Formation as well as the Immortal Spirit Kai Gathering Formation. He placed the last top-grade Immortal Range below the city. When the formation was done, Yimo didn't intervene in city management. Yi Teng and them were still responsible. He went into the main peak Mo Yu Peak and started his construction. It would be him, Luo Ying, Ning Qingxue and them staying here, so he must build it himself. At the same time, Yimo decided to split the immortal marrow crystal into 3 parts. One would stay in the Golden Page world to form an immortal well and provide for his cultivation. Another part would be placed in Mo Yu Immortal Sect to form an immortal well for sect members, but only people with certain contribution can go in. The last part would be placed on Mo Yu Main Peak. The largest thing in Gonghua Heaven now was Mo Yu Immortal Sect. Even the rebuilding of Extreme Sword Sect wasn't as hot as this. I want to go to Gonghua Heaven, there's 2 king sects being built. I heard that Mo Yu Immortal Sect just started and they need large amounts of disciples. It has very dense immortal spirit Kai and the sect leader is a level 7 immortal pill Grand Master. Wait, I see notifications in every immortal city that Mo Yu Immortal City are taking Luo Yu Continent cultivators. Luo Yu Continent is just a cultivation realm, can there be that many disciples? It means that they would take in everyone from Luo Yu Continent while the rest of the people just had to be alright in talent. Really? Then I'll go see too. Discussions like these were everywhere in the Low Heaven domain. Immortals flocked to Gonghua Heaven, some Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage and Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage rushed over. They heard that Lu Feng of Huanfeng Merchant Tower reached Immortal King on the spot with the help of the sect leader. Then she joined the sect and became a sect elder. At Huang Zhen Heaven, Nuoshi Immortal City, 2 hollow immortal men were discussing. Jiefeng brother, do you want to go to Gonghua Heaven? One middle-aged man asked. The skinny, scholarly-looking man hesitated before answering. Brother Meng, Yu Heng Heaven is capturing Luo Yu Continent cultivators everywhere. If we were caught on the way, it wouldn't be good. Plus, we don't have that many immortal crystals to get there. If Yimo was here, he would realize that one was Meng Zhan who escaped to Luo Yu Continent from another cultivation realm, and Juyin Island Lord Jiefeng. I heard this notification was made by Mo Yi Heaven Zi Shuang Immortal Sect. They even said they would pay for the travel fees. Zi Shuang Immortal Sect is a king sect and there's Immortal King Master. They probably wouldn't be scared of Yu Heng Heaven Lord Lu Zhongchuan. Plus that Mo Yu Immortal City sounds very familiar. There's a Mo Yu City in South Peace State. Perhaps the two are related. Meng Zhan said quietly. Jiefeng hesitated for a while before nodding. That's good, we can't hide forever. I've ascended for a few decades yet and my cultivation essence still hasn't been converted. Just when they got up, they were stopped by a long-faced immortal. Qian Bei, Mengzhen couldn't even see through the power of this immortal. The immortal sneered, ascended from Luoyu continent, very well, we need cultivators like you. You're from Yuheng heaven? Jie Feng asked in shock. You're very smart, come with me. Otherwise don't blame me. The long-faced immortal sneered. Jie Feng's heart sank to the bottom, he didn't expect he would eventually fall into the hands of Yuheng heaven. What enmity does Luoyu continent cultivators have with Yuheng heaven? Why are you capturing us? Jie Feng asked word by word. The long-faced immortal said in contempt, you little things don't have the right to know, just come with me. Jie Feng and Meng Zhen were taken away by this long-faced immortal without resistance. Nobody said a thing. In one small corner, a female immortal with her face covered saw this and thought in contempt, I heard of this Jie Feng, his heartless Xi Zhuyan island lord, his strong but his this careless. Hearing their conversation, I wanted to get to know them and go to Mo Yu immortal sect together, but now, it seems impossible. At this moment, the huge square of Mo Yu immortal city was filled with immortals. Yi Mo was also excited, standing at the main seat. He had been to quite some sect events but never had he had such an experience. This time, he was sitting at the top. It had been nearly a year since he came to Mo Yu immortal city. The construction of the city and sect was long complete. He built the main peak and the rest of the peaks were constructed with Lu Feng and them's help. He was very happy with the design. The immortal city was running and today was the disciple intake for Mo Yu immortal sect. The stage was filled with guests from big sects and immortal cities. The strongest were all immortal kings. Even sects from other heaven domains came. Immortal friends, thank you for coming to the first disciple intake of Mo Yu immortal sect. This time, Mo Yu immortal sect will take in 1,000 disciples. Before Yi Mo finished, the square erupted. There were at least a few million immortals here and more were coming, but they were only taking in 1,000 people. Seeing this, Yi Mo used his immortal essence to suppress the discussion in the square. Everyone calm down. Although only 1,000 people are taken in this time, we will take in large amounts of disciples every year. As for some excellent immortals who weren't chosen, they can still be in outer sect members and through performance reach inner sect members. Hearing this, everyone finally calmed down. It was mainly Lu Feng and Yi Ting taking the lead. As for the testing immortal artifacts, Yi Mo made them. Other than some talent testing immortal artifact, he also made a testing door. It would test immortal spirit root, perseverance and intellect, forming 9 levels. Below level 3 would be disqualified, only those above level 3 would pass through to 1-to-1 testing. The cultivation realm cultivators have spirit root and when they come to immortal realm, it would turn into immortal spirit root. A good spirit root in the cultivation realm doesn't necessarily end up becoming a good immortal spirit root in the cultivation realm. The city square was huge, although there were a lot of people, it didn't seem packed. Only extremely talented immortals would be tested by Yi Mo and Lu Feng personally. Due to Yi Mo's power, many big sects already came to congratulate, even Extreme Sword Sect. Lu Feng greeted them and for some friendly ones who gave lots of gifts, Yi Mo helped them concoct a cauldron of pills. It was also because the sect needed allies now. This was the 3rd day of testing. The first round was over but his face was very bad. He asked Mo Yi Heaven Zi Shuang Immortal Sect to notify the entire low heaven domains but not a single Luoyu continent cultivator had come. Liu Zhongyan was responsible for this and he was very awkward. The notification clearly said that Luoyu cultivators had the lowest requirement for joining. Liu Zhongyan and Lu Feng didn't have any good ideas. They felt it was very eerie that no Luoyu continent cultivators came to the city but they didn't know what went wrong. Liu Zhongyan and Lu Feng didn't have any good ideas. They felt it was very eerie that no Luoyu continent cultivators came to the city but they didn't know what went wrong. Yi Mo got up and said Luoyu continent's immortal ascension restriction has been broken and there are quite a lot of truth realization state peak stage in Luoyu continent. There's no way that not a single person hasn't ascended. Lu Feng, I'll leave the Mo Yu sect disciple intake to you. When I come back, we will have our sect opening ceremony. Sect leader Luo, you're going out? Liu Zhongyan asked. Yimo nodded. That's right, I'm going to those immortal ascension palaces to see for myself. If anyone dares to do anything to my Luo Yu continent cultivators, don't blame me for what happens. Lu Feng really wanted to go with Yimo, but she knew that she was needed more here. She quickly got up and said, Sect leader, you can go, I'll do my best here. Yimo released an extreme-grade immortal artifact and flew off. He was going to the Gonghua Heaven Immortal Ascension Palace to see first and then check the Immortal Ascension Palace of other heavenly domains. After Yimo flew for just 5 minutes, his spirit sense saw 2 cultivators, one ahead one behind, flying rapidly towards Moyu Immortal City. Clearly the person behind was hunting the person in front. The person in front was a hollow immortal woman, however her flying magic artifact was quite good. It was a level 6 middle grade immortal artifact. The person behind was great extreme immortal, but his flying magic artifact was only a level 4 flying immortal artifact. This way, the two just kept their distance. When Yimo saw who it was running, he was furious. That female immortal covered her face, but under his spirit sense she couldn't hide at all. The next moment, he stopped the two. Qian Bei, the female immortal, saw Yimo's flying chariot and Yimo's powerful pressure and knew she couldn't get away. Yimo sighed. This female immortal was called Shi Luan, South Peace State Heaven Demon Sect. She helped him fight the Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds. At that time, she was only Truth Realization State level 7, but now she had ascended. Even though Yimo didn't ask, he knew that there was a scheme behind no Luo Yu people coming to Moyu Immortal City. He just came out and saw one being hunted. Resisting his fury, Yimo asked coldly, what's going on? Qian Bei, this woman is my maid, but she stole my flying magic artifact and ran off. WN Bei is chasing him. WN Bei's master is Hengyu Heaven Junzi Immortal King Master. The immortal bowed. He couldn't even see Yimo's power level. This meant Yimo was probably Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage or even halfway Immortal King. An ordinary person would have believed this. Shi Luan was a mere hollow Immortal Primary Stage. How could she have middle-grade flying Immortal Artifact? Qian Bei, this person is lying. My flying magic artifact came from my sect. I don't even know some Junzi Immortal King Master. How can I be his maid? Shi Luan explained. Yimo asked the Great Extreme Immortal, how long has she been your maid for? Over 100 years, or we wouldn't trust her this much. The Great Extreme Immortal lied. Yimo sneered. A few decades ago he still saw Shi Luan at South Peace State. This Great Extreme Immortal was full of shit. Bullshit. I've only ascended for a bit over 10 years. Shi Luan rebuked. Yimo ignored the Great Extreme Immortal and looked at Shi Luan, asking, you're called Shi Luan, South Peace State Heaven Demon Sect member, right? Shi Luan looked at Yimo in shock. She never told Yimo her origin. How did she know? But she quickly calmed down and bowed. Yes, Qian Bei, WN Bei is Shi Luan from South Peace State Heaven Demon Sect. How do you know me, Qian Bei? Seeing the two knew, the Great Extreme Immortal was worried and looked around for a way to escape. It's simple, I have a martial brother called Yimo. He asked me to help him build Moyu Immortal Sect to attract the immortals from Luo Yu continent. He gave some images of the friends he knew. You were one of him. He's in solitary cultivation, so I am dealing with these things. Yimo smiled. Huh. Shi Luan called out in joy. She didn't expect Yimo ascended and still remembered someone like her. No wonder Moyu Immortal Sect notified all the low heaven domains, so this sect is built by City Lord Yi. Shi Luan breathed easy. Yes, but I'm curious, why hasn't a single Luo Yu cultivator come to Moyu Immortal Sect? Is there too little people who reach immortal ascension? Yimo sighed. Shi Luan suddenly said desperately, Qian Bei, WN Bei came here to report this to Qian Bei. Yimo smiled. Call me Martial Brother Luo, take it easy, talk slowly. The Great Extreme Immortal reproached our Heaven Domain Heaven Lord is Junzi Immortal King. If you dare to offend. Yimo sneered, and before the Great Extreme Immortal finished, killing intent swept out and the Great Extreme Immortal was like struck by lightning. His immortal essence and meridians went chaotic. The next moment, his main meridian exploded and blood splattered. His meridians felt like they were bitten by countless bugs. The pain was inextricable. He wanted to beg for mercy, but he couldn't even speak. How could he not know now that this person was an immortal king too, a very powerful one? Speak. Yimo signaled Shilwan to continue. Shilwan felt satisfied seeing this great extreme immortal who hunted her getting subjugated. She bowed. I heard many heaven domains are capturing Luoyu continent cultivators. They are all very scared. Many have been caught already. It said the captivators are from Yuheng heaven. Before I came, I saw Zhuyin Island Lord Jefeng getting captured. I was very careful on my way here, but I was still caught by this person. There must be many people from Yuheng heaven hiding in Gonghua heaven. Lu Zhengquan, you old bastard. Yimo roared furiously and his killing intent soared. Although the killing intent didn't target this great extreme immortal, he was already scared soulless. Yimo waved a spirit sense blade into the great extreme immortal's sea of consciousness and asked coldly, how many people did Lu Zhengquan send to each heaven domain to capture Luoyu continent cultivators? The great extreme immortal answered in horror, I don't know about other heaven domains. 30 came to Gonghua heaven. Where are they? Yimo was more and more furious. I don't know, the great extreme immortal quickly said. Yimo burst his immortal essence and this great extreme immortal was blasted into pieces. Martial brother Luo, seeing Yimo's means, Shilwan felt a bit uneasy. Just when Yimo wanted to speak, he looked into the distant sky and soon, a dashing light arrived before Yimo. Sect leader Luo, I just wanted to go find you at Moyu Immortal City, but you're here. This is great. Zi Shuang sect leader Sai Cheng Immortal King Li Kai smiled and stopped his flying magic artifact, saluting with his fists. Yimo's face was very bad. He knew it had nothing to do with Sai Cheng Immortal King, but him not doing his job properly was one reason too. If he did do it seriously, he would know Luoyu cultivators were being hunted. Seeing Yimo's face, Sai Cheng Immortal King's heart skipped. It seemed sect leader Luo also received the news he got. Sai Cheng Immortal King quickly said, Sect leader Luo, I believe you already know. For some reason Yuheng Heaven Lord Junzi Immortal King is capturing Luoyu continent cultivators. I just got this news. I captured more than 10 people in Gonghua Heaven. Now I came to ask for your opinion. Yimo nodded. He knew that after all, Sai Cheng Immortal King was just helping. He said, I'm going to Yuheng Heaven to annihilate Lu Zhengquan and his Heaven Lord estate. I have something I want to ask you to help with. Sai Cheng Immortal King was dazed by Yimo's words. One can't just simply say that so casually. Chapter 1823, Wipe Out Heaven Lord Estate. Chapter 1823, Wipe Out Heaven Lord Estate. Brother Luo. Although there aren't a lot of immortal monarch in the low heaven domain, but there still is. Lu Zhengquan is a heaven domain lord. If you attack him, it might bring out domain protection immortal monarch or even more powerful being to attack. Even if they can't come, there's a heaven lord alliance in the 11 low heaven domains. If you annihilate a heaven lord estate for no reason, it would cause big chaos. He was a member of the low heaven domain heaven lord alliance. If they fought he would have to fight too, but he already tested Yimo's terrifying power. If an immortal monarch didn't come, he believed even the Heaven Lord Alliance would be no match for Yimo. Yimo said coldly, I'm not annihilating a Heaven Lord estate for no reason. Lu Zhengquan is capturing Luoyu continent cultivators for no reason. If I don't kill this bastard, I can't satisfy the hate in my heart. Sect leader Li, if you're willing, help me capture the people that Yuheng Heaven set everywhere to capture my Luoyu continent cultivators and help me go explain to the Heaven Lord Alliance. Hearing this, Sai Cheng Immortal King sighed. He knew that Yimo knew he was a member of the Heavenly Lord Alliance. Now he had two choices. One was to continue staying on the good side of Moyu Immortal Sect, second was to join the Heaven Lord Alliance to annihilate Yimo. But he knew Yimo's power clearly. Even the strongest immortal king of the Alliance was probably no match for Yimo. Thinking that Yimo was a level 7 immortal pill grandmaster too, Sai Cheng Immortal King soon made his decision. Brother Luo, I will gamble this once. I will help you remove all the nails from Yuheng Heaven and explain to the Alliance what Lu Zhengquan did. If the Heaven Lord Alliance still wants to fight you, I can only stay out of this. Yimo smiled. Brother Li, don't worry. You won't regret the decision that you made today. If you told what happened to the Alliance and they still want to fight me, then there's no point for their existence. To be honest, Yimo felt strange that Lu Zhengquan so overtly went to capture Luo Yu continent cultivators. There was no reason for this, it should be a secret. Did he not care other people would go investigate it? Sai Cheng Immortal King took a cold breath in. Sect leader Luo was so dominant. Yuheng Heaven wasn't very famous in the low heaven domains, but once the Heaven Lord Lu Zhengquan reached Immortal King, Yuheng Heaven's status rose. Due to this, Fenggang Immortal City, where the city lord estate was more prosperous. Yimo was very disappointed. From the news he got, Lu Zhengquan wasn't at Fenggang Immortal City, he wasn't even in Yuheng Heaven. Lu Zhengquan's Heaven Lord Estate was extremely grand, even on par with Qing Wei Heaven City Lord Estates. Who are you? How dare you stay in front of the Heaven Lord Estate? Yimo studied the place a bit and a great Unity Immortal landed before him reproaching. Where did Lu Zhengquan go? I came to kill him today. Yimo said coldly. Great Unity Immortal thought it was just a curious person, but hearing Yimo's arrogant words, how could he take it? He couldn't see Yimo's power level, but he saw Shi Luan was only hollow immortal. Yimo probably wouldn't be very strong. He was about to release his magic artifact to attack Yimo. Yimo just waved a sword ray and killed this great Unity Immortal. Seeing Yimo had no intentions of taking this great Unity Immortal's storage ring, so she quickly went up and picked it up. Seeing Yimo dare to kill a guard at the front of the Heaven Lord Estate, the nearby Immortals immediately surrounded and looked over in shock. Junzi Immortal King Lu Zhengquan had very high status in the city and now someone was attacking his door. This was too absurd. Yimo looked around at the Immortals and said, Immortal friends, I'm sect leader of Mo Yu Immortal Sect. I have no enmity with Lu Zhengquan, but my martial brother is a cultivator from Luo Yu continent. But Lu Zhengquan, this bastard, went crazy and hunted the immortal ascension cultivators of Luo Yu continent, making them unable to survive. Today, I came to save the innocent cultivators and get justice from this Lu bastard. The people nearby immediately realized what was going on. Mo Yu Immortal City was famous all over the world, most people already knew. They also knew of what Lu Zhengquan did. Everyone realized that karma was here. Some immortals who wanted to intervene heard Yimo was an immortal king and didn't dare to even talk. If Lu Zhengquan was still in here, he would definitely kill the guy who ordered to hunt Luo Yu continent cultivators. That guy misunderstood him, he just wanted to capture a few of them and asked what was going on, not capture everyone and make it known to the world. But in reality, if Mo Yu didn't appear, no one would say anything even if Lu Zhengquan captured all Luo Yu continent cultivators. Then, Yimo released an ordinary top-grade immortal artifact and sliced down at this Heaven Lord Estate. As an immortal king, no matter how grand the Heaven Lord Estate, it would be hacked in half. The Great Eternity Immortals and Great Extreme Immortals of the Heaven Lord Estate wanted to stop Yimo but was instantly killed. The rest of the Immortals fled without even daring to fight. Yimo couldn't be bothered chasing, he knew that Lu Zhengquan wouldn't spill the Chaos Tree, he would be keeping it in his heart. In a deep rumble, the Heaven Lord Estate with an area of tens of kilometer radius was rapidly destroyed into rubbles. Then, Yimo used Immortal Essence Giant Hand to form a huge shovel and scooped up all the rubbles. Then he tipped it into the void. When the shovel was gone, no one could see anything on the land anymore. They didn't know where the things went either, all they could see was a very flat land. The Immortals watching took in a cold breath, this was really a wipeout. To Yimo, getting justice for Luo Yu continent was necessary, but his main reason was the Chaos Tree. Even if there was Immortal Monarch to stop him, he would have to kill Lu Zhengquan. Otherwise, if Lu Zhengquan spilled the news, then it wouldn't be Immortal Monarchs coming after him but Immortal Emperor and even Divine Emperors. Then, Yimo hacked out the Immortal Artifact in his hand again and split the land in half. Then, Yimo reached out his Immortal Essence Giant Hand and grabbed out rows of cages below the earth. However, these cages had restrictions. Yimo waved his hand and the restrictions were removed, the people inside were exposed to the sunlight. Isn't that Fenggang Immortal City, Level 6 Immortal Pill Great Master Kumu Qianbei? He had disappeared for a few hundred years, I thought he went to Middle Heaven Domain. I didn't expect he was locked up in the Heaven Lord Estate. Why is the great elder of our Ganglin Merchant Association locked up in here too? Mang Kang, isn't he the #1 prodigy of Feng Gang Immortal City? Wasn't he sent to Middle Heaven Domain Immortal Monarch Sect by the City Lord? Why is he here? The people inside were all locked up and had this ribs chained. When suddenly exposed to the light they were dazed. Seeing the many familiar faces, Yi Mo was furious. There were 5 people he knew here: Meng Zhen, Jie Feng, Xie Zhengshe, Kai Pei, Quan Luan. Meng Zhen and Jie Feng were his friends, but their meridians were sealed and ribs were locked. Clearly, they suffered greatly. These people were all overlords in the cultivation realm, but now they were so easily trapped. Chapter 1824, Fake Gentleman. Chapter 1824, Fake Gentleman. Yi Mo felt a little guilty. These people were here due to him. Yi Mo didn't go save Meng Zhen and them first. He turned to the people nearby and saluted with his fists. I believe I don't need to say what sort of a person Lu Zhengquan is. He calls himself Junzi Immortal King. I think he can add a fake in front of it. TL note, Junzi means Gentleman Lu Zhengquan doesn't have a proper Immortal King title, he just named it himself to increase his fame. With what he does, he wouldn't get a very high spot on the status title tower, nor would he get a very good title on Immortal King tablet. Junzi Immortal King my ass. Without Yi Mo needing to do anything, Lu Zhengquan's name was infamous. Yi Mo felt strange. What was this Immortal King tablet? He had never heard about it. Although many friends and familiar people were locked up in the cage, Yi Mo pulled the cages out. The Immortal King hasn't spoken yet, so no one dared to touch it. Is it Shi Luan goddess ahead? Kai Pei saw Shi Luan and quickly called out. He was friends with her, and since Yi Mo set up the 4 states teleportation formation, the truth realization state peak stage masters almost all knew each other. Luan Shi looked at Kai Pei and said in shock, Martial Brother Kai, you ascended too. Kai Pei smiled bitterly. I was locked up here as soon as I ascended. Shi Luan goddess, how can you be here? Shi Luan waved her hand. We'll talk about this later. Yi Mo flung out tens of flame blades and the immortal artifacts locking their ribs were hacked apart. At the same time, their restrictions were released. Yi Mo threw out 100 immortal pills and said everyone have one and the hidden injuries will be healed. I'm Mo Yu, Immortal Sect Leader. If there's anyone who wants to go, I'm very welcome. At the same time, Luo Yu Continent cultivators can stand on the side. You can join the Mo Yu Immortal Sect or you can leave. Meng Zhen and Jie Feng rejoiced upon hearing Mo Yu Immortal Sect. This sect was indeed doing things to help Luo Yu Continent. They came as soon as they were captured. Those Luo Yu cultivators who were locked up early were confused. They heard of Mo Yu City. Was this Mo Yu Immortal Sect related to it? Shi Luan came up and explained. Hearing that the sect leader of Mo Yu Continent ascended from Luo Yu Continent, everyone realized what was going on. They didn't know what the sect leader was called, but since he came from Luo Yu Continent, it was normal that he took care of people from there. Those people who were saved all realized what happened. Yi Mo not only saved them and gave them immortal pills. They all came up to thank Yi Mo. At the same time, Level 6 Immortal Pill Great Master Ku Mu came after chatting a little with familiar people. He was a skinny old man and bowed to Yi Mo. Ku Mu, thank Master for saving my life. Yi Mo waved his hand. Immortal friend Ku Mu, no need to be so polite. We're all Pill Dao Pursuers. This is nothing. Yi Mo said this intentionally. He heard the conversation Ku Mu had with others. He was stuck in Level 6 Immortal Pill Great Master for tens of thousands of years, unable to progress. Thus, he wanted to leave the city and go to Middle Heaven Domain to BT. Lu Zhengquan was very nice to him in the city and they were friends. So, when he was about to leave, he notified Lu Zhengquan, but he didn't expect that he wasn't allowed to leave. Then, he was thrown into prison. Yi Mo said he was a Pill Dao Pursuer because he wanted to attract Ku Mu to go to Mo Yu Immortal Sect. Hearing this, Ku Mu indeed asked in surprise, and Joy Master is an Immortal Pill Master too? What Level 6 Immortal Pill Master? Level 7. Mo Yu Sect lacked a powerful Pill Master other than him. Ku Mu looked at Yi Mo in shock and after a while, he asked in disbelief, Master is Level 7 Immortal Pill Grandmaster? Yi Mo knew he was being doubted. He took out a pill and gave it to Kumu. "This is a pill I concocted, what do you think?" Seeing this pill, Kumu was shook. "This is special grade Yi King pill," Kumu said shakily. He loved Pill Dao, but that didn't mean he didn't care about his power. He had never had the chance to concoct Yi King pill in the countless years of his pill concoction. As a level 6 immortal pill great master, he knew this special grade pill almost had no impurities. With this, everyone looked at the Yi King pill in shock. Mo Yu immortal sect was this wealthy. Even some emperor sect from Grand Heaven Domain can't take out Yi King pill so easily. Some Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage and Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage looked at this pill and their eyes went red. If they had this pill, they would have the chance to become Immortal King. If it wasn't that Yi Mo was an Immortal King, people would be going up to rob it. Kumu looked at it for a while before giving it back to Yi Mo. "Good pill. Since Master can concoct such pill, it means you're infinitely close to level 8 Immortal Pill Grandmaster. I want to be your disciple, please take me in, Master." Yi Mo laughed. "There's no need for that. My Mo Yu Immortal Sect's Immortal Herb Peak is lacking a big elder. If Kumu immortal friend don't mind, you can be the big elder there. What do you think? Of course, I will give you some of my pill concoction experience to you. I believe it's not impossible for you to reach level 7 Immortal Pill Grandmaster from that." Hearing this, Kumu immediately knelt on the ground. "Kumu is willing to join Mo Yu Immortal Sect, become Immortal Herb Peak Elder." "Okay, get up first, Elder Kumu. This Yi King pill can be a little gift to you," Yi Mo said happily. Liu Zhongyan didn't intend to start another sect, so Yi Mo decided to open up an Immortal Herb branch for him in the sect. Liu Zhongyan can manage that branch. Kumu is the big elder and directly responsible to the sect leader. Yi Mo could tell Kumu doesn't really care about position, his passion is in Pill Dao. Seeing Yi Mo casually give him such a precious pill, Kumu was more excited. With his Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage and Immortal Essence Foundation, he just needed to bring himself to his peak state and there would 80% chance he could reach Immortal King. Plus, the experience of Yi Mo was priceless. Even if Yi Mo had more stringent conditions, he would agree. Seeing this, people erupted. Some people were already asking if they could join Mo Yu Immortal Sect. Yi Mo saluted with his fists to them. "Everyone, the sect will have a member intake event every year. If you want to join, you can go to Mo Yu Immortal City. It will be the #1 Immortal City in the Low Heaven Domains because we have level 7 Immortal Pill Grandmaster. Sect Leader Master, Mang Kang, thank you for saving my life. I'm willing to join Mo Yu Immortal Sect, but my power is low. I'm willing to go do the test there." A young golden immortal came up to Yi Mo and bowed. Other people wanted to be taken in immediately, but this golden immortal was willing to go take the test. This gave him a good impression. Thinking about the discussion before, he asked, "You're the #1 prodigy of Fenggang Immortal City. Why did Lu Zhongchuan lock you up?" Chapter 1825, Mo Yu Rising. Chapter 1825, Mo Yu Rising. Originally I wasn't too clear. Lu Zhongchuan was very nice to me and I was very grateful to him. Until one day, he took me to his place and sealed my power. Then he called out an essence spirit body. I heard him say to that essence spirit, "What do you think of the body I found for you?" The essence spirit went around me and said, "Top talent, but his immortal spirit root element doesn't really match with me." Only then did I know that Lu Zhongchuan wanted to use me for possession. I was furious, but I couldn't move at all. Mang Kang spat. Hearing this, everyone started discussing contemptuously about what Lu Zhongchuan did. Yi Mo rejoiced, he wanted this effect. When he killed Lu Zhongchuan in the future, no one would say that Mo Yu did the wrong thing, nor would people go find out why. However, that essence spirit body probably wasn't so simple, or Lu Zhongchuan wouldn't take it so seriously. "But you weren't possessed?" Yi Mo asked in confusion. Mang Kang nodded yes, because at this moment, Master Ji, whom Lu Zhongchuan invited, had something desperate to tell him. Master Ji was invited to predict the future of Yu Hung Heaven. He was very respected by Lu Zhongchuan, so Lu Zhongchuan put away that essence spirit body and said would help him look for me. If he can't find anyone better, it would be me. Do you know why that Master Zhiji came to Lu Zhengquan? Yimo asked. Mang Kang shook his head. I don't know, but when I was taken away, I was no longer a VIP but a prisoner. I just heard that Master Zhiji say go to Middle Heaven Domain, as for where, I don't know. Yimo nodded and reached out his hand, checking Mang Kang's talent. Moments later, Yimo put down Mang Kang's wrist in shock and asked, how old are you? Wan Bei is 430 years old. Mang Kang bowed. He felt very proud of himself too. He had never seen someone who cultivated faster than him. You reached Golden Immortal in 400 years. Where did you ascend from? Yimo immediately asked. Mang Kang said respectfully, yes master, Wan Bei came from Xinqiang continent. Meng Zhen on the side immediately said, you're from the same cultivation realm as me. So immortal friend is from Xinqiang continent too. Mang Kang said joyfully. Yimo sighed. Mang Kang reached Golden Immortal primary stage in 400 or so years, and this was him without having a sect. If he had a sect, his progress would be terrifying. Yimo said to Mang Kang, today I will take you in as a temporary disciple. If you perform well, you will be my formal disciple. You have a few martial brothers before you, I will show them to you later. Thank you, master. Mang Kang knelt down and bowed without hesitation. It was a dream to find an immortal king master in the immortal realm. Yimo let Mang Kang get up. With his side, even an immortal emperor would take him as a disciple. Shi Luan brought the rest of the Luoyu continent cultivators to thank him. Yimo found there was two people he hadn't seen before. After introductions, Yimo realized these two were called Wang Xiong and Chen Jianu. They were cultivators who kept a low profile. When Yimo broke the immortal ascension restriction, they ascended. From this, one could see it was unknown how many powerful cultivators were hidden on a cultivation realm. They just didn't want to come out. If you guys willing to join Moyu Immortal Sect, then come back with me. If not, you can leave. There won't be people hunting Luoyu cultivators in any heaven domain anymore, Yimo said. As Yimo expected, almost everyone wanted to join Moyu Immortal Sect. As a newly ascended Hollow Immortal, it was their fortune to join such a huge sect. How could they reject it? When Yimo was prepared to take everyone to leave, his spirit sense caught a familiar figure. He seemed shifty, and before he could get away, Yimo grabbed him over with Immortal Essence giant hand. Yimo knew this guy. When he killed Lang Yin, this guy forcefully ascended to run away. He was probably the great elder of the Ice God Palace. Master, Wan Bei is just an onlooker, it has nothing to do with me. He was when you old bastard, you tricked me Quan Luan to come here and get caught, and now you say this has nothing to do with you. A furious voice sounded. Yimo knew this woman, he taught her a lesson in the cultivation realm before. She was the #1 master of West Extreme State Snow Forest Pond Quanlan. She had a disciple called Mu Feihuan. Master, I know Lu Zhengquan. Wen knew he couldn't get away, so he wanted to say everything he knew, but Yimo didn't want to ask him here. He took Wen on the teleportation formation and left. News of Yimo coming to Yuheng Heaven and wiping out the Heaven Lord estate soon shook the entire 11 low heaven domains. The rest of the captivators all heard news of the incident and Lu Zhengquan's infamy. They all changed their names and hid themselves. Because Yimo attacked too fast, Li Kai could only capture 20 or so people. Helplessly, Li Kai could only take these people to Moyu Immortal Sect. Yimo killed them all without hesitation. When Yimo brought the people back to Moyu Immortal City, 1,000 sect members had been taken in. There were people ranging from Hollow Immortal to Great Eternity Immortal. With the people Yimo brought back, the sect opening ceremony was held earlier than Extreme Sword Sect. Everything Yimo did made the rise of Moyu become inevitable. Countless sects came to Gonghua Heaven to celebrate. The city lord of Moyu Immortal City was Yi Teng, and the vice city lords were Zhou Yuseng and Jiang Jin. Time flew by. This was the 10th months of Moyu sect opening. The city and the sect went on right course. Yimo didn't even need to intervene. With Lu Feng's experience, the sect was organized very well. Some experienced Great Eternity Immortals were sent to different positions. Lu Feng was just the peak lord of one peak, but what she did was like a vice sect leader. Yi Mo felt strange that the Heaven Lord Alliance didn't come to him. Things seemed to have just ended there. But no matter what, Yi Mo knew things didn't end here. He knew from when that Lu Zhengquan went middle heaven domain. When was a hollow immortal, but he could know such thing. This meant he was a core member of the Heaven Lord estate. Yi Mo knew why Lu Zhengquan went to middle heaven domain. He must have predicted his location and went to find him. However, he came back down to the low heaven domain. Mo Yu sect has pretty much calmed down, and Ku Mu was in solitary cultivation, ready to break through to Immortal King. Even Lu Feng didn't have much things to do now. Yi Mo hasn't built up the treasure library of the sect. It's not that he didn't have time to, but there were too little people in Mo Yu. If he left, there wouldn't even be a person to guard it. As for Mang Kang, Yi Mo gave him a new cultivation method and let him cultivate on Mo Yu Peak. After these few months, Yi Mo had decided to leave and after a while come back as his original identity. However, Lu Feng suddenly came to him. "Martial brother Luo, do you have time?" Lu Feng had some small talk and asked. Yi Mo nodded. "I'm free, but I'm planning to go to Master and see if Martial brother is done with solitary cultivation. At the same time, I'll tell Master and Martial brother about the sect and then I'll go with Master to Chaos Star Realm. My Martial brother might come back." Lu Feng hesitated for a moment before saying, "It's this, my cultivation level has stabilized, the time for king naming is about to come, I want to go to Mo Yi Heaven to get named. Would Martial brother Luo be able to come with me?" Chapter 1826, Title Status Tower, Immortal King Tablet. Chapter 1826, Title Status Tower, Immortal King Tablet. Just when Yi Mo wanted to ask what king naming was, he suddenly remembered hearing some rumors about Lu Zhengquan. His Immortal King title seemed to be gifted by friends. There seemed to be a special place to give Immortal King title. If he didn't know anything, Lu Feng would be suspicious. Thinking about this, Yi Mo said awkwardly, "I just reached Immortal King and my martial brother went into solitary cultivation. I was planning to be done with my martial brother's things before going to king naming, and now you came to me." Lu Feng heard this and rejoiced. "That's great, Martial brother Luo, we can go together. I was worried about going alone." Yi Mo dazed and didn't ask what there was to worry about. He said, "I was in solitary cultivation before and came out after reaching Immortal King, so I still wanted to go ask Master what I needed to watch out for." Lu Feng wasn't suspicious and immediately said, "Martial brother Luo, you don't need to go back and ask. King naming is very simple, I have some information here." Lu Feng gave Yi Mo a jade slip. Yi Mo looked inside and rejoiced that he made a good excuse, or he would have been exposed already. There were 3 Immortal King tablets in the Immortal Realm. Every immortal who reached status immortal could go to anyone and leave their name. After doing so, the Immortal King tablet would show their Immortal King title. But not all Immortal Kings would accept this title. Some people didn't like it and would use a title of their own or given by friends. But that was only amongst friends. If they joined any event or tournament, they would have to use their title from Immortal King tablet. Once you were named on the Immortal King tablet, you would enjoy the fortune of the Immortal Realm and sense the universal laws more clearly. Lu Zhengquan accepted Junzi Immortal King because he wanted to be more famous. It was just like Extreme Sword Sect Qin Peifu and Yang Zai. They didn't have a title but they made one up. Only this way would Extreme Sword Sect seem more powerful. Yi Mo breathed easy. He thought that you made your own title. 1,000 years is up. Yi Mo looked at the jade slip. King naming was very messy before, but later on, system gradually formed and that was the king naming every millennium. Lu Feng immediately said no, there's still their years before the 1,000 years, but those who wants to get named have to go beforehand. There's a title status tower next to every Immortal King tablet. One must go in first before king naming. You can sense the world Tao waves inside and gain enlightenment on power and God art. The longer you stay there, the better it is for your future. Of course, most importantly, the better for king naming. There's 81 levels in the tower, each level has 9 rooms. If we go in later, the rooms will be taken by others and we can only stay at the worst spot or wait for another 1,000 years. In the tower, the higher level you go, the more benefits you receive and the better your immortal king title. The level in the tower you reach corresponds to the spot of your name on the immortal king tablet. In that case, people would be long there already. If we go now, wouldn't we still be behind others? Plus, there's 700 or so rooms. There wouldn't be 700 immortal kings appearing together in 10,000 years. Yimo asked. It seems you really know nothing about the immortal king tablet and title status tower. Lu Feng explained. When the 33 heaven domains first split, there were 3 immortal king tablets. At that time, there wasn't title status tower. Immortal kings could go to immortal king tablet whenever they wanted. Later on, when the heaven domains united to agree to king naming every 1,000 years at the same time, a title status tower appeared next to each immortal king tablet out of nowhere. At the same time, people found that if you wanted to get your immortal king title, you would have to go to the tower. Only when you meditate inside the tower would your power be stronger after king naming. The tower opens a year before the immortal king tablet. The higher you go, the better the Tao waves. Yimo realized, so that means if we go late, we can only stay at the bottom floor and not go to the top floor. But even so, we don't need to go a few years ahead. Lu Feng shook her head. No, you can't easily go up to higher floors. Usually, if one can reach 50 levels, they would be extremely powerful amongst immortal king. I don't know about middle and grand heaven domain, but in the low heaven domain, ordinary immortal kings are around 20 to 40. In fact, there's only 300 rooms or so from level 1 to level 40. The rooms below level 20 aren't very valuable. Thus, the people are fighting over 100 or so rooms, so it's very intense. Before the title status tower opens, those people going to get king names would stay at the immortal king tablet square to sense the tower's Tao waves. The better they feel it, the higher they would be able to climb in the tower. Some people would even go ahead 5 or 6 years. Yimo asked in confusion. Even so, there should be enough for the low heaven domain. There would be an extra 100 or so immortal kings in the low heaven domain every 1,000 years. Lu Feng sighed. If it was just the low heaven domain competing, then this 100 or so is enough. But like the immortal king tablet, the tower is in 3 different heaven domains, but it's the same thing. If you go in from any heaven domain, you will end up in the same place. So, all the immortal kings in the 33 heavens are fighting over the rooms. The real competition is over the rooms from level 36 to 45 or so. People aren't interested in the rooms below that. People can't get into the rooms that are too high. It's a big competition every time. Many immortal kings who lost inside the tower would stay at the square looking for trouble with others. That's why I asked if Martial Brother Luo could come with me. Then can't you wait till you're strong before you go there? Every immortal king only has 3 chances since the tower appears. This means if you haven't gone within 3,000 years of reaching immortal king, you would never have the chance to do so again. Those who can't get named is said to be unable to reach immortal monarch. They might have to stay an immortal king for the rest of their lives. Yimo nodded. My master is always in solitary cultivation. If you didn't tell me about this, I really wouldn't know. This tower reminds me of Yuan La Heaven's Tao-seeking tower. I also heard there's a Tao-seeking tower in the Grand Heaven domain. What's this about? Lu Feng answered. It's pretty much the same as the Immortal King tablet. The Tao-seeking tower at the Grand Heaven domain is the same one as the Middle Heaven domain one. However, Tao-seeking tablet isn't the one outside the Middle Heaven domain. Tao-seeking tower tablet is made by an immortal forgery grandmaster using a Tao-seeking stone that flew out from the tower. The real tablet isn't called Tao-seeking tablet but Tao Rune tablet. Tao Rune tablet is in Fan Du Heaven. It's said that if you enter Tao-seeking tower at Yuan La Heaven, the max you can reach is level 6. I don't know if it really is so. Thinking about how he was teleported out before reaching level 7, Yimo suddenly believed Lu Feng's words. He might be able to reach level 7 if he went to Grand Heaven Domain's Tao-seeking tower. When Kumu reaches Immortal King, we'll go together. It's fine if we wait a year or so, Yimo said. Yimo also hoped he would see Lu Zhengquan there. Half a year later, Kumu reached Immortal King in Moyu Immortal Sect. Moyu got a new Immortal King who was also a level 6 Immortal Pill Great Master, This immediately shook the entire Gonghua heaven and all big sects came up to congratulate. Mo Yu sect had 3 immortal kings, one of which who was extremely power. One could see that Mo Yu immortal sect was about to be the #1 sect in the low heaven domain. Kumu just reached immortal king and needed time to consolidate his power, so he didn't decided to go king naming this time and stayed at the sect. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.